Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. I want to welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamus Report. Today, I'm going to be talking about, quote unquote Nigerian scammers. Most of you have probably, it's a common joke in the Western world. I know for sure in the United States, the Nigerian emails, people call it. You get this random email where the person is like, hey, I am a Nigerian prince. My father owned, massive oil companies. I'm looking for somebody, who can, keep this X amount of money in their bank account. So for most people, you're like, man, get out of here. I mean, if you have common sense, you would think, all right, how this guy whose father owned these oil fields and he's a prince, why does he need to reach out into the internet to strangers, to try to get people's information? But now you would understand, especially here in the United States, people, are very much into, protecting their identity. And it makes sense for you to, because it's everything. If someone gets hold of sensitive, you know, like sensitive information about you, I mean, it could be detrimental to you, but beneficial to these individuals. So they try to get this information via emails. So to you, it might sound silly, but believe it or not, there are people that fall for this. But now, even in Nigeria itself, they call these guys Yahoo boys. And I'm going to play some videos here because this this on itself, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, believe it or not. Even though like Nigerians generally, they are the fall guy for it. But you would find out this is much, much bigger than Nigerians themselves. you know it's because it would shock you to find out who is even behind this quote unquote the Nigerian scheme. So you have a guy called Hush Puppy, who, because like back in the days, somebody might scam people, and they don't want people to know, they are discreet. But with Hush Puppy and present day internet scammers, they want to flaunt their spoils, the things, the money, the lifestyle, because everybody wants to be an Instagram celebrity. Because you see, like nowadays, people want to show off what they have. So this Hush Puppy character that we're going to touch on, because you see, Hush Puppy, he had a huge influence. Because if you look at it, like, let's say for instance, here in the United States, you would see many black kids from the hood, or now widely, they want to be like rappers, or basketball players, some sort of entertainer. I mean, it's not by accident, because it's like they see those are the people that they show as having the lifestyle, the big chains, the Lamborghinis, the Maseratis, the private jet, all the beautiful girls. This is what is shown. And now this is amplified by, like Instagram and Facebook, like these social media platforms. It used to be, one of the avenues is just you are in a in a music video and that's the end of it. That requires huge budgets. But now your mere phone camera, your iPhone, you can take these pictures, you can make these videos and push it out there. So a guy like Hush Puppy, it's not only enough that he was able to get a whole lot of money from this internet scamming, which I'm going to get into because someone made a good short documentary, especially on Hush Puppy. And then I'm going to show you another video of an actual scammer. So this individual himself, he doesn't want to be in it, but you will see the connection where Hush Puppy came from and the lifestyle he was living before he was arrested. You can see the people, the young people that he influenced, because mind you, Hush Puppy is not a rapper, he's not a movie star, he's not any of these things. So you would see that kids who feel like they are limited by these things, they look up to somebody like Hush Puppy because they are like, hey, I don't have to know how to sing. I don't have to know how to do all these things. I can get the lifestyle of Hush Puppy because Hush Puppy was putting rappers, basketball players, and he was putting all of them to shame. He was putting all of them to shame. You see? So these kids look up to him just like, the kids here in America look up to rappers and, sports stars. So Hush Puppy created a whole different category. But now he's very discreet about his, the information he gives about where he gets his money. Because you see, he was even calling out popular Nigerian rappers, like trying to flex on them and stuff. So, and he would take these people down. Some of them would even, rap about him. So it's a big thing. So now you would see the people who were maybe regularly just small time internet scammers. Maybe they're able to scam some old lady in America or the UK for like maybe 85 bucks. That's big money for them, right? Now they're seeing Hush Puppy came from where they come from. And I'm sure, like, maybe if you're not a Nigerian from Nigeria, you might not get the game. You see someone making money and they're like, oh, it's through the grace of God. And, Africans would buy this. But if you're Nigerian, you live in Nigeria, you understand how it works. The individual don't have to tell you that, hey, I am in the dark web. They'll be able to tell. I mean, this guy doesn't work for government. He doesn't own an oil field. I can see where the money is coming from, but he's got Gucci, Fendi. He's got all this luxurious stuff and he's posting it on Instagram. Hey, they know right away. This is a 419 billionaire, you know? So the kids they aspire to that. And I'm going to show that as well here for you to see. But please, this right here can save even you that is watching here because you could be working for a bank. Before, the way these scammings work is through individuals, but these people have become well sophisticated. The taste have risen because, as you can see, Hush Puppy was able to make it to where he could afford his own private jets. Think about that. Think about how much money he was bringing in. He was making loads of money. And Hush Puppy himself, believe it or not, there's someone else above him. He's just a middle person. So that's why, like, this your small time, you know, guy who's somewhere in Nigeria in the internet cafe trying to get a few bucks out of you is beyond that now. Now they're going for millions. You could be working at a bank or a law firm whatsoever, and you get some of these emails, but you don't even understand, like, your company is being targeted. So right here in this program, you will understand how to avoid that, how to recognize, the signals, the red flags, because it might sound funny here, like I'm saying it, but it could cost you big time. But as they get more sophisticated too, it's easier to trace the money as well. This is how Hush Puppy got caught. Besides him being on the internet flaunting it, you would be surprised by his connection. And he himself is not even aware of who he's connected to, but he wants to show off, the ego. He wants to show off. So they got him. But before we get into it, it's a video. So I want you to stick around because I'm gonna break it down. But in order to be able to use other people's videos on YouTube, you have to add your own creation to it. So I'll be stopping in between and adding my own creation to it. But before that, if you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. And also, it's always a tradition here at this channel. Before I enter into the actual videos we're talking about, I will take you, with the Pan-Africanist church music, as it's called here. Don't worry about where it came from. Just kick back and enjoy, and we will finish this in due time. All right. So the first story here, this is going to be about Hush Puppy himself. And you're going to receive the story of Hush Puppy, where he came from, and how he became known as Hush Puppy, and how he got the money as well. We're going to see all of that here. I told you guys um, last time, and some people were mad. I said the white people will do the investigation and they will bring it to all of us. I know some are gonna, don't take it from the white people. You yourself know the truth. Okay? This is why when we see, because Africans, they like to say, oh, Nigerians are scammers. They want to accuse every Nigerian. But before you do all that, you can just sit back and let me prove to you that there's a segment, just like in America, there's a segment of the black population who are rappers. Some of them are basketball players. It's no different in Nigeria. There is a segment of the population who are into this internet stuff. Even in Nigeria, they get arrested. It's a crime there. It's not like even in Nigeria, everybody's just walking around like, oh, I want to become a Yahoo boy. That is a crime over there. So just saying. And especially now with the new economy, transferring to digital, more and more crypto, more and more Nigerians are going to become richer. People would hate to hear this, but they've become more sophisticated, and they are learning more and more that they could they could become richer. It's no longer just like a little bit of money here and there. These guys are making real money from this. I'm about to play Hush Puppy.
Scammer, who laundered hundreds of millions of dollars, much of which likely ended up in the hands of North Korea, whose downfall came about through his own seeking of celebrity status and flaunting of extreme wealth, and kind of trying to be an influencer. It's a tale of its time. Ramon Abbas, who later became known as Hush Puppy, and who for almost a decade flooded Instagram with photos of himself living the high life, didn't need to be an influencer or really have any public presence. In fact, his extravagance helped him pop up on law enforcement's radar. Like so many of the shyster
You guys already are seeing Hush Puppy. He's living, the life and glamour of the rappers. So I told you it's a whole segment of its own. St. James said, do they have Gmail boys? I think Gmail is too controlled for them to go into that. I think Yahoo is the old school one. That's why they stick with Yahoo. But I bet Gmail is coming soon too, if it's not already happening. But you see, Hush Puppy, this is some of his postings on Instagram. So since he made his money in the dark web, he wants to come and flaunt it, in the Instagram world to build his stardom. Let's continue.
of the airwaves, his ego was ultimately self-defeating. Abbas grew up very poor in Lagos in Nigeria. His father was a cab driver, and his mother sold bread on the side of the road. As a child, almost every day he would go to a woman in his neighborhood who sold food on credit to children who didn't have any money.
So you can see already, Hush Puppy, came from a very poor background. So you can now understand his ambition on why he, like some kid in Nigeria would look at Hush Puppy and say, hey, if this man came from where I come from this background, and now he's got his own private jets and all, and he's doing, I mean, they don't even have to tell them he was a Yahoo boy just like us. Any type of opportunity that come their way, they'll take it. Because you see, this right here, this is an industry of itself. There's even an entire state actor, entire country that makes its money from this. And they figured out how to use Nigerians, people like Hush Puppy and others, because their taste for wealth. So they'll be generating the money for these countries, but they don't even know that that's what they are doing. So Hush Puppy came from a very, very hard background, to put it lightly.
At some point in his youth,
You see, Audrey, you're absolutely right. I see it in the movies. Even like some countries, I look at it sometimes when they tell the story, somebody being poor in Nigeria versus, let's say, places like Gambia, it's completely different. It's totally different. This is why most Nigerians are very ambitious. They don't want to be poor, you know.
Abbas got involved with Yahoo, a term used to describe a particular brand of fraud. According to Adedeji Oyanuga, a criminologist who studies cybercrime at Lagos State University, young men in Lagos began to dabble in online scamming in the early 2000s, when cybercafes first started appearing and unemployment was rising. That and a ruthlessly corrupt government meant there was seemingly little opportunity to get out of the slums. Some wannabe scammers congregated at a cafe in Bariga, which is adjacent to Abbas's home neighborhood, and used free Yahoo email accounts to operate digital scams.
So, so you see, again, once again, this is why I always talk about like the government. So you see the corruption and the lack of opportunity, that the government provides, leads to things like this. I'm not saying entirely that's their fault, but hey, that's what the makeup is. And the government created the unemployment, and the youth start using the internet. People like Hush Puppy, they eventually learn, hey, we could use this and make money off of it. We could be somebody completely different on the internet. So more and more of them are making it big out of it, because the government position is taking, rapper position is taking, CEO of the oil company is taking. So hey, they have to create their own category. So that's the 419.
They came to be known as Yahoo Boys and would seek out magas, which roughly translates to gullible Mark. The scams were not always like the hacker cliche of breaking into a server through a back door and changing the source code. Really, they were cons, taking advantage of blind spots in bureaucracy, pretending to be other people, taking advantage of trust. They were not always especially sophisticated. The scams would evolve over the next decade, including check cashing scams, money order fraud, romance fraud, and business email compromise fraud, or BEC. BECs are worth a lot of money. According to the FBI, BECs are the #1 most costly form of cybercrime in the US, accounting for 40% of all funds stolen. But we don't hear about these types of
So the bigger one is the new scam, which they call the BEC. They go for bigger companies. African parasite, you're right. In the second video I'm going to show, you would in fact see where a scammer himself comes and and expose how this is done. He doesn't want to do it anymore. So, but you will see this. Afrodamos Mrs. Teenage. He'll probably be somewhere around later. But the BEC, that's the bigger scam. That's not individual. This is when they switch to going to companies. So this is a $1.9 billion industry.
crimes very often because they are highly embarrassing to the companies that get defrauded. BEC fraud occurs all over the world, and pinpointing where it started is difficult, but many BEC scammers have been traced to West Africa. So the cybersecurity industry
West Africa, when they say West Africa, they mean Nigeria, to be precise. Nigeria, and I think some Togolese are into this as well, and Ghana.
thinks it may have started there. Typically, first someone hacks into a corporate email account. There may be actual hacking involved, but more often it's done using social engineering tactics, like phishing or even guessing at passwords and exploiting poor security. Once they have access to their target email account, the scammer begins forwarding copies.
That's Hush Puppy taking a bath in his swimming pool like he's in the village river. You can take the man from the slum, but you can't take the slums out of him.
Of incoming and outgoing mail to themselves, and may spend weeks or months watching the activities of the business, waiting for a large invoice to come in or out. The idea is that when the right opportunity comes along, the
No, Audrey, there is scammers in Gambia for sure. They are usually Nigerians themselves. But see, the Gambians, they have their scam, but they do it in a different way. And we will get to that one too. We will get to that one, but today, we'll talk about the number one stars of scamming in Africa, if not in the world.
Scammer inserts themselves into the transaction and reroutes it to a different bank account. This can work in several ways. In a scenario where the recipient of funds has been compromised, the scammer might create an invoice identical to the real one, but with the bank account info changed, and resend it from the email account that they've hacked, along with a message apologizing for the mix-up. Another scenario is where the scammer creates a spoof email account very similar to a real one from the company. In some cases, they might create fake websites that look identical to the real website, but with one letter changed, or some other slight difference. Like I say, more of a con than what you might traditionally think of as hacking. Sort of like the corporate equivalent of, "You're not the usual Brinks truck guy?" "No, he's ill." And the money changing hands isn't small. Many of these transactions are in the millions of dollars. It seems crazy that someone in a corporate office would send millions of dollars to a scammer without it being caught beforehand, but it happens all the time.
You see, people, it's just like people, the accountants that they caught stealing millions from the bank. So people are like, when they announce it on the news, it sounds to you like these people came and stole millions at a time. No, they were shaving off half pennies on so many different accounts. That sounds small to you, but if you collect enough half pennies from everyone, it's going to turn into millions pretty soon. So the way these people run their scam, they target big companies, and they would do several of these big companies and collect millions, hundreds of millions of dollars from different banks. Imagine if you're working for a bank, or whatever organization that handles money, and you do transactions online, you do all your work, especially now, a lot of people are working from home. So let's say you're paying bills. So sometimes you can get some of these guys, they would send email. They don't just pounce. They monitor. They monitor how you guys run your company. They would lurk in and wait to see how the transactions run. So you would think you're dealing with a legitimate company. You've never had issues with any money situation, and boom, next thing you know, you think you're paying they're rerouting, siphoning millions out of your company, but you're thinking you're sending it to some company, but no, you're paying into an account somewhere in Romania, some remote European country. And people think, oh, this scam, oh, you're sending the money to some guy in Nigeria. Nigeria is not in the equation. The only way Nigeria is even in the equation is just the individual is from Nigeria. Because if it gets to Nigeria, they will get caught. So they open up bank accounts in different places. And you get to hear that in this short documentary soon.
According to Crane Hassold, who works in cyber defense research, these attacks are so realistic looking, most people don't give it a second thought. Because when you're involved in payments like these, you see a lot of these emails every single day, and when it doesn't raise any red flags, you are not going to go up the chain and do any confirmation. One would expect that when you get into the larger and larger amounts of money that are
St. James, I remember Babandin Susoko. I'm going to bring his story next. I was just thinking about him too. That's why I said, see, Babandin, he didn't do it, through the internet. That's why I was saying, yes, there is Gambian scammers, but they don't do it like the Nigerians do. It's not through the internet. There's other means how they do it. We'll show that here too.
exchanging hands, that there would be some process that requires secondary authorization or something like that. But in many cases, that's not what actually happens.
I have decided to follow Jesus.
So this man is in a swimming pool, washing himself like he's in the village river, singing about Jesus. This is what inspires a lot of those young men that see this video of him. They say, what, hush puppy? Hush puppy don't go Dubai in a shower inside the water pool like that. That's the pigeon. Look at hush puppy. He's over there, just doing his thing like he's in the village river. I'm in Dubai in the hotel. Do you know what type of message that is sending to them? It's letting them know, hey, all you gotta do is get some money. If you live in the village, guess what? You can still afford your village life wherever you go. Who wouldn't want to do that? To you, that sounds silly, but somebody from a village, that's a big deal. So they aspire to this. So it's something, to be motivated by if you're from, those places.
I have decided to follow Jesus.
Essentially, it isn't that the scammers are exceptionally good at what they're doing, but rather that the victims have poor defense. According to Hassold, the main tool of BEC fraud, social engineering tactics, has been around for a long time and isn't too dissimilar from traditional phishing and romance schemes, or the "I am a Nigerian princess for monies, please" scam.
Many of you have received that email. I am a Nigerian prince. I mean, they hit whoever. I have even received one. This one was interesting. The man said, you have a long lost uncle here in Nigeria. The man passed away, so he's left millions behind, and you are his main inheritance. You're supposed to inherit that. But for you to get this money, we need a bank account and a copy of your ID and stuff like that. I was like, dude, you were able to find me, but you can't figure out a way to send me this money. You need all this from me. I said, well, I'm sure if the uncle remembered to write about me, he would have known, all this information as well. But it was silly. There were people fell for this because of their own greed. It sounded so good. They're like, oh yeah, it's possible. They see my last name is an West African last name. They say, oh, it's not too far-fetched for him to have relative in Nigeria. Why not? Let's give it a shot. So if you're African name, they come at you differently. They know how to speak to you. If it's a big company, they just mimic them. I have even seen one. This one was wild. This is the dating one, the scamming one. There's this Nigerian, he's based in Malaysia. So on the internet, he had a picture of a white guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, talking with some old widow in Australia. This man was able to suck over $59,000 from this woman. All along, the woman thought she was talking to some guy named Greg, but he the whole time she was talking to someone else, this young Nigerian guy. He got caught eventually, but that's another game that is played. That's why be careful when you're traveling in this dark web. If you go there looking for love, you might find Mr. Olojuwan waiting for you over there. And he's going to suck your life savings from you.
Of old. The main difference is that these fraudsters are now targeting large companies instead of individuals, because they can make a lot of money on large corporate transactions. In BEC scams, the groups running them are very loosely networked, with each person involved taking a small cut of the total funds stolen. There are different levels in the scam. First, you have the hackers who actually break into the accounts. Then there are the money mules, who are
Guys, listen to this section there explaining how the scheme works. So you would see that Hush Puppy is not at the top. He's not even at the top. So a lot of these guys, even though sure they make money, but they are being used by a bigger actor than them.
often people tricked into opening bank accounts using romance scams or phishing. Then you have the loaders, or the money launderers, who control international bank accounts that can accept large amounts of money and redistribute that money to the mule accounts around the world, where the money gets split up among other participants. They might also try to launder the money by buying assets such as property or gold, or through legitimate business that take in physical cash, or by converting it into cryptocurrency and using software to pass the money back and forth hundreds of times.
You know, I've seen some of these YouTubers now, they are promoting this. Oh, go get crypto Africa crypto. Look, I get it. They want to do this crypto thing, but pay attention and understand, like, you are not the only one navigating the internet streets. Okay? So pay attention, listen to what is happening here, and you will see if they could easily hack these multi-billion-dollar banks. What do you think they would do to you? You are just, you are easy for them.
These crimes are committed by loosely affiliated and ever-mixing rings of criminals, of which Abbas was one of the most successful loaders. There are many ways to launder money, but probably, however you're going to do it, you should keep a low profile. I'm thinking. Around 2014, Abbas left Lagos and went to live in Kuala Lumpur. This came around the same time that Nigerian security forces were cracking down on cybercrime, boot first, and Abbas was not the only Yahoo boy to flee. In Kuala Lumpur, Abbas became far more active on social media than he ever had been before, and branded himself as Hush Puppy, as a billionaire Gucci master, and as a shining example of how others might also get out of poverty too, if they just work hard enough. In his apartment in Kuala Lumpur,
He was faking it till he made it. I mean, I don't know if I would call it make it, but this is the true definition of that. So you see how he progressed. He was doing his scamming in Nigeria, but then the Nigerian security forces ramped it up and started cracking down on them, made it hard. Him and many others, they flee Nigeria to Malaysia. That's where they set up shop. So while he's there, like the man said, he was building his personality on Instagram. So, this world is no longer like before where you need thousands of dollars. You need a whole production team to put yourself out there. Nah. So the man, he's got this free, he's an internet person. Why not take pictures of himself and post it on? I mean, think about if your job was just, hey, you wake up, you just go check the internet real quick. You got several computers, other people are doing it. You would have plenty of time to take pictures of yourself and calling yourself the Gucci King. So it turned out his life is even much, much easier than the rappers and these football players that the kids would have, aspired to, because he doesn't have to work that hard. All they need is the connection, and you will soon find out it's not like Hush Puppy himself is constantly behind the computer. He's got plenty of them, but he doesn't have to sit there and do it. He just do the phone calls, and that's it.
He took photos of himself from head to toe to show off his designer outfits.
Yeah, African Parasite, you're right. He was making American top rappers, making them look like, they're struggling. Because none of them could, I didn't see any that was posting pictures like Hush Puppy. They don't have that kind of money. And he was doing it. He even was flexing on Davido. This is a popular rapper in Nigeria. So, and that guy, he's at the same caliber as people like Drake in America.
He would caption the posts with inspirational messages, plus hashtags for the brands he was wearing. Over time,
See, this was the apartment he was renting. You can tell this is an apartment, compared to his next pictures you're about to see, him staying in the hotels.
he began to attract thousands of likes and followers. The overall message of his brand on Instagram could be described as, I grew up poor, I became rich, you can do it too, just believe in yourself. Hashtag Gucci, hashtag Louis Vuitton, hashtag Versace, hashtag Cartier, hashtag Fendi. His message
He has expensive taste, people. Very expensive taste. So you see, like this Gucci, Fendi, and all these brands. I mean, I don't know, man. Why? I mean, like Nigerians and these rappers, they are really into this expensive, stuff. So they are doing this Versace, Gucci, Fendi competition on Instagram. I mean, nobody can do Hush Puppy because he posts videos of himself spending 20, 30 grand at a time shopping at malls. So, like, you gotta go work for your money, even if you're a rapper, right? You gotta put out lyrics. You have to keep up with this. You can't compete with a man who, his clients are unwilling clients, and even you that's going against him, where you putting your money in at that bank, he can easily find access to that money, your own money. How are you gonna compete against him? So it was hard. Hush Puppy, I bet you there are rappers right now who are happy that Hush Puppy was taken off the internet. They're like, oh, thank God. He was beginning to make this Instagram thing difficult for us. Every time we turn around, Hush Puppy is over here, spending this kind of money. We can't keep up. We know Hush Puppy is a scammer, but we can't prove it. None of them could prove it. You see, usually people that do this, they fly under the radar. But he was too bold and confident. I mean, shoot, even if I was a federal agent investigating this man, I would, if I see him posting his pictures, at first I'll be like, nah, they are lying on this man. If this man was really scamming people, why would he show this out like this? But in fact, that's what happened. In fact, I saw another video that surfaced not long. I'm going to investigate that too. The title is The Only Nigerian Billionaire That Was Killed After Showing Off Money. But as I read this story, it looks like this man was arrested. Then they said he died in custody whatsoever. And he was giving me a lot of Hush Puppy vibe. You see, if a man, these people, the way they give it away is, you guys see how Hush Puppy was taking birth in that hotel, in the hotel swimming pool, like he's in the village river. That guy, he was doing the same thing. He was doing the same thing. So I was like, another Hush Puppy. but they want to tell us that this man owned oil fields. Oil fields. So his story is interesting. Once I get deep into it, I'll bring it to you as well. So Hush Puppy is not the only one.
Messaging is weirdly rife with the same jargon and positive feedback that you see in people who run MLMs or cults. It's the language of, you can be rich and successful, like me. But Abbas was never trying to directly sell people a solution, such as a book about how to get rich, or an MLM scheme, or whatever. He was just selling the idea of success and wealth in itself. In fact, he was notoriously, suspiciously quiet about where he made his money whenever he was asked, only saying that he was a real estate investor.
You know, in all of Hush Puppy's videos and pictures, all this eating, I have never seen him take a picture in a gym. One thing with these guys, they are allergic to that. The scammers, they don't like to exercise. I don't know why. Maybe they don't anticipate to get chased or something. But none of his pictures have I seen where he's working out. He's either eating or flashing off his Gucci, Fendi, and all the Italian names that is sucking the money out of these entertainers and scammers.
Although he never really had a great deal of real estate. In 2015, Abbas moved from Kuala Lumpur to Dubai as his wealth mysteriously began to grow even more. He began spending a lot of time with another influencer, Ismaili Mustafa, known as Momfa, who had a very similar style of account, flaunting luxury goods. By this time, Abbas was becoming sort of a celebrity in Nigeria. In 2016, Abbas, or rather Hush Puppy, and Momfa were mentioned in a song called Living Things by Nigerian musician Nine Ice.
See, in Nigeria, these guys, they don't have to know how to rap themselves. But now, if the rappers are rapping about them, I mean, who do you think the kids would rather be?
Golden-haired merkin, hanging out my Birkin, camels and needles, but the devil be smirking. Motherfucker. These connections...
That's the rap song made about them. Hey, these guys, they are kicking it over there in Camel land. When I say Camel land, in the Arabs land. I mean, look, like I hear the rappers here in America always talking about the same thing, Ferraris and stuff. Nigerian rappers are talking about camels. They're riding camels over there, and it's clear, you can see their picture. They have the same cars or better than what you have. So they have, not only do they have Bentleys and all these other cars, they ride camels over there too. That's what the rapper is talking about. So you haven't made it till you go live among the Arabs and start riding camels. Then you've really made it.
Helped him grow his following, as did getting into public feuds, both real and performed. In 2017, he got into a beef with a pop star called Davido, claiming that he hadn't paid a tab at a Lagos night.
Look, Hush Puppy even hired, look, you can see here, he hired his own special Italian chef. These guys, they do not put salt normal like you and I on the meat. Like when you're seasoning something, you guys have seen the man. You have to be special. You have to have special kind of money to be able to afford a chef like this. You see, he's throwing the salt like a basketball, and it's all landing where he wanted them to land, on the meat. This is the type of stuff Hush Puppy was paying for. And then on top of that, he's got so much money, he decides, you know what, I'm going to start a beef with the most popular rapper in Nigeria, and I'm going to win. That's what you're about to see here. the Davido guy. He started a beef with him. Let's see how that beef went.
club. They later made a video together where they made up, which further increased Abbas's following. Later, he got into another spat with musicians Fino and Ice Prince, accusing them of wearing fake luxury watches.
Look, Hush Puppy got so much money. He is even wearing ladies' blouse. Hey, doesn't this red thing look like a blouse on him? But either way, I mean, I'm just making fun, but hey, he's dressed in this blouse, telling rappers, the popular rappers, that in fact the jewelry and stuff they're wearing is all fake. That's how much Hush Puppy had it going. So the kids that came from the background where he came from, whose lifestyle do you think they prefer? Him or, a guy working in an office earning regular money? You know the answer.
Another feud, the singer KC, drew on the increasing suspicion surrounding Abbas's wealth. Abbas and Momfa later publicly accused each other of fraud.
You see how it always ends? See, when things are mysterious, this always somehow happens with, Africans, blacks, anywhere. The moment you have a fallout with them, it goes to personal attack. And that personal attack ends in what? Oh, you're a fraud. You're both fraudsters. Why are you calling each other fraud? And the FBI is like, bingo, our suspicion is real. Our suspicion is real. He had a fallout with his homeboy, and the homeboy called him a fraudster. He called his homeboy a fraudster because, you see, they know each other. And that's the beginning of the end for them.
Part of what makes this whole thing interesting is how Hush Puppy wasn't just pretending at being an influencer. By all accounts, he really did get lots of brand sponsorships and related tat for his Instagram posts. Major luxury fashion brands were sponsoring him.
So, Hush Puppy, what they're saying, he was in fake all the way. So, he was dressing in these brands to a point. Now he was advertising for them. So he was legit. He bought his way into it, but he became legit. These companies are like, hey, we might as well give it to him for free.
In January 2015, Abbas shared a video on Instagram where he was given a gift from the Versace store in Kuala Lumpur, along with his friend Samson Oikonoli, for being the best customers of 2014. In the video, Abbas says that he just spent $20,000 in the store that day.
You spend 20,000 you, okay? 20,000.
I should spend 20,000. Mommy, actually cool.
He got
It's always amazing how, you see how, the Nigerians that like to flaunt the money, they would name the amount so people can hear. Oh yes, I just spent 20,000, and they always follow it up with one of their language, as if you understand. But you're like, yes, and the people at the store, they just smile. They're like, yeah, Belegbo, whatever you said there, they don't understand it, but they enjoy you coming there spending that money. And he's making videos of himself, putting it on the gram. And the FBI are over there watching. They're like, look, this guy, I mean, he's taking this, internet Nigerian prince thing too far. Okay? We know he's not a prince. We've never heard of his name. How is he getting this money? He's an influencer, but hey, how is he making this money? So it's a good question. St. James said, Afrodamas will be good on a Nollywood movie.
custom
Thank
shoes
you.
from Christian Louboutin. a custom-made purple Rolls-Royce, an all-expense trip to the Ritz Paris for Fashion Week as a VIP guest of Louis Vuitton.
Now, honestly, how many rappers you know in America? You know, you hear a lot of the big names, they weren't living like Hush Puppy. They were not living like Hush Puppy at all. Otis Afrodamus can play Hush Puppy in the movie. Yeah, he doesn't say much, so yeah. I don't know if I would want to wear that. You know how they wear these purses around themselves and they give it a new name. I don't understand. These Italians, they went and designed it. You see big old Africans, walking around, with their purse, and you're like, dude, you wear a purse now? They're like, no, we call it satchel. I'm like, uh-huh. Now they got you men wearing purses and calling it a different name, satchel. But hey, I'm telling you, this looks the same, just like the one my mom used to wear too, and she called it a purse. But hey, if this is what you guys want to call it, so be it. I've seen some even Gambians too with their tight jeans, like Mr. Hush Puppy here, and they're wearing, this same bag. But I bet you theirs is fake. I'm not throwing any shade on them, because Hush Puppy has been calling rappers out, telling them their jewelry is fake. If he's calling those people's jewelry fake, I mean, I don't know, man, what the groupies, theirs must be really, really fake. They probably got it from the other Africans in New York or somewhere. But let's continue.
A dinner invitation, quote, by Fendi to dine with a lot of amazing, strong societal giants. There are many accounts of him shopping at Dubai's malls every day, spending tens of thousands every day. He became entwined with prestigious brands, at least in that he received a lot of free goods and services and gained a lot of access.
Isn't he always eating? Man, so you see, Hush Puppy made sure, remember in the beginning, in his story, he had to go to the, like you have some people that sell bread and stew out there. So I guess his family had to get it on credit. He's like, man, my dream is when I make it, I would never go hungry again. And he took it too far. He's like, I will be taking Instagram photos and I'll make sure I'm always eating, flaunting the lifestyle. Because 2-3 pictures he's eating. Short videos he's eating. I don't know if I would be able to play him in a movie, because I don't know if I can eat that much. That would be too much.
And posted a lot of ad-like stuff. His social media activity really helps draw a picture of who Abbas really is, especially with one of my favorite posts, a photo of himself in a hot tub in the Greek islands of Santorini.
Wait, but Audrey, they said his dad was a cab driver. What do you mean single mom? He had a mom and dad. But yeah, I'm confused. But he wrote a letter to the ghetto kids. So Hush Puppy might not be writing lyrics, but he wrote his letters on Instagram. Let's hear his letter to the ghetto kids. And there were many that I bet even today looking up to him.
Captioned with the title, Letter to the Ghetto Kid, which sort of reads like a manifesto about how rich people and governments don't care about poor people. It's quite a read. Why did he do this? There's no way brand sponsorship fees could ever be enough to hide the tens of millions Abbas and his associates were regularly pilfering. And although I don't know the details of his sponsorships, it seems like he became an influencer by buying his way in. Gucci and the rest started to give him stuff for free because he kept buying stuff and posting about it anyway.
So he made it to the status of superstars. I mean, I'm talking super actors. These people you see, Hollywood, and even in the sports world, people that are at the top of their games, they give them these outfits for free. How much would it cost? How much do you think it cost them to make this? Not that much. But they know if we give it to such and such, once the fans see the person wearing it, they're gonna go out and spend the money. So he made it to that status to where he wasn't even buying it, they were giving gifts to him. These big stores that some of you people dream of, Hush Puppy was just cruising through them, and they would give stuff to him for free so he can advertise for them.
Why not give him some t-shirts with a logo? I mean, what does this crap actually cost Gucci to make? 50 cents?
Bernard said, American trappers, though boys, should take advice from Nigerians. Apparently, I mean, Hush Puppy is putting rappers, basketball players, all of them to shame on Instagram. I mean, it's apparent that he knows how to make more money than they do.
So, after years of fellow Instagrammers, especially those from Nigeria, questioning where his money came from, the answer finally began to bubble to the surface. As it turns out, Interpol and the FBI also wanted to know where Abbas's money came from, and had been watching him for quite a while without being able to pinpoint exactly who he was. On October the 12th, 2018, he posted to Instagram a photo of his birthday cake, a gift from the brand Fendi, which artfully depicts Abbas in his signature "look at this stuff I bought, don't look at my stuff" pose. Investigators were, indeed, able to use his date of birth from the Instagram post.
What a dummy, huh? So he's receiving, see, he's out there, you know, you're not clean whatsoever, but you're posting too much, way too much. Now, on his birthday, he reminded them to look for his date of birth. And that's all they need.
To track him to a visa application. From there, they were able to learn who he really was and begin to track how he was making his money. It became clear to the FBI and Interpol that Abbas had been laundering money for several years, but they needed to place him under surveillance for months to get something concrete on him. So, here are some of the things that they found. In January 2019, Abbas received a message from a friend named Alumari, who was also a money loader. He had been working on BEC scams for years, including one case where he stole $10 million from a Canadian university. Abbas and Alumari communicated on Snapchat about an upcoming series of transactions.
These guys are hitting up universities, banks. It's no longer individual. So you see, even the FBI, they have to dig a little bit more to be able to prove any scam on his part. So let's continue.
Alumari said that he needed 2 bank accounts in Europe and that he could receive up to 5 million euros without attracting attention, and he needed them by February the 12th. Abbas said that he had a Romanian account that could handle it. The payments were coming from a bank in Malta, which had been compromised months before in an ambitious scheme where hackers had broken into the...
So you see, Hush Puppy's greed got the best of him. So he's been doing this for years. So obviously, he made a lot of money. But he couldn't stop. He wanted the glamour. He wanted to continue with the glamour. It's not just for him to get himself out of poverty. He wanted to be the center of attention. His ego got the best of him. And you know where that takes you.
French stock regulator and sent emails to the Malta bank in question pretending to be those regulators, and were thus able to gain access to the bank's secure payment system. On February the 1st, Alumari messaged back to say that the money was confirmed for February the 12th, and that he would now need 4 bank accounts to handle the transactions. A few days later, he upped this to 6 accounts, and said that all of them would be credited with 5 million euros at the same time on February the 12th. Throughout these conversations over several weeks, Abbas continued to post on Instagram as usual.
Thank you guys for staying tuned and watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.
The next day, Alumari messaged back that
He's over here making Instagram videos every day, telling people to like and subscribe. While in the background, he's doing transactions, opening several bank accounts so they can deposit this money in. Remember what I told you? The money trail is not back to Nigeria, because in Nigeria, the investigation is 2 tenths over there. That's why they call it. They even have a code for it called the 419 code. That's why when you hear 419, that means, scammers. They have a special unit for this type of activities. So if you look at how many people are engaged in it, you would think, oh yeah, the Nigerian government, the state police are down with this. No, they crack down hard on this. Like, they don't play with it. So that's why the money, their money sees nowhere. Unless they take it there, eventually when they get it to an account that is secure, but everything is done outside of Nigeria.
that he still needed 1 more bank account. Abbas sent him the details for a Bulgarian account.
Wait, Bernard, isn't Hush Puppy a big timer in the hood over there in Nigeria? What do you mean he couldn't help other Nigerians? They look up to him somehow. He writes letters to the ghetto kids. So I'm guessing, he shows up every now and again on Thanksgiving, and you guys don't celebrate that. That's an American thing. But whatever holidays they celebrate, he shows up to, bless them, I'm guessing.
When February the 12th finally rolled around, Alumari messaged Abbas that only one of the wires had gone through for 500,000 euros. But the bank in Malta hadn't noticed yet, so they planned to try and hit it again the next morning. But when they did try this the next morning, the bank did notice that 13 million euros suddenly went missing and quickly shut down their entire electronic system as they tried to recall the money. The 2 men commiserated over the haul and planned to try another hit in a few weeks. All of this had been closely observed by the FBI and Interpol, but the 2 scammers had no idea and apparently no.
While they're investigating Hush Puppy, he's in his private jet. See, Hush Puppy made it to a point. He only was reading about Forbes. I don't know if he's just looking at pictures, but he sure always have the Forbes magazine in his hand, living the life of the rich and famous. Hey, this is what greed gets you.
concern. It's interesting to note that all of this was being done using cell phones and Snapchat accounts that were actually owned by the 2 men, officially. They did not seem to take any kind of security precautions whatsoever. In April 2019, Alumari got in touch with Abbas and told him that a big haul was coming in, $300 million from an unnamed
Look at Hush Puppy on a camel. Which American rapper do you see on camels? I'm telling you, man, this is what the kid aspire to be. Is that camel even real? That doesn't look real. Hush Puppy looked too comfortable on that. But either way, he's on a camel. They made a song about it.
English Premier League team. The plan was to swap in bank account details on a large contract that would pay out weekly, using a bank account in Mexico that Abbas had set up.
See, he was trying to steal from Manchester United, a football club. Hey, Hush Puppy is like, look, I may not know how to score goals, but I will get paid like a real goal scorer. He opened up his account in Mexico. It's like, so he avoids Nigeria like the plague. And throughout my investigations, I noticed the scammers, I would think Nigeria would be the safe haven, but no, this is not safe for them. This is why they open the accounts in all these different places. Real class. Hey, he probably did.
But when it came time for the scam to happen, Alumari found that the UK banks wouldn't pay into the account in Mexico. So they dropped the scam and waited for another. Later that year, they successfully hit a large law firm in New York for about $1 million, intended as a payout to a client.
Bernard, no, I believe they can get the money there. It's just they try to get the smell off their back because maybe Nigeria is the final destination. So they wouldn't want it to be traced back there. And also they have an entire unit that investigates this type of activities. So they already know the police there are more familiar with this situation according to what they think. So that's why. That's my guess. But I'm sure, they can find a way to get it in. It's just didn't. Oh, if they try to get the money, people to wire it to Nigeria, they're gonna scrutinize it more. You're getting information. They're like, oh, make this payout to Nigeria. Ding ding ding. They'll be like, oh no, that smells fishy. So they just open accounts in other countries.
And this money was split up and sent to several other accounts. Abbas sent a message to Alumari after the money hit, asking for confirmation and a screenshot. Alumari promised to give him one when his plane landed, but when he arrived, the FBI was waiting for him. The next day, Abbas's old Instagram friend, Monfa, was arrested at a Nigerian airport for fraud and money laundering. Think about this. You're this guy, and your friends start to get pinched internationally. All of the incriminating text conversations they've ever had with you are all in the hands of law enforcement somewhere. And when you think about it, the breadcrumb trail leads directly to you everywhere. Probably it would be a good idea to now disappear. I'm thinking. No. Abbas
Hush Puppy was too addicted to the lifestyle. There was no way he would back down. I mean, smart. Some people would have flown under the radar and gone away, do other businesses, not Hush Puppy. When even like they were hot on his trail, for some reason, he didn't back down. He continued with the lifestyle.
continued posting on Instagram, but changed his bio from billionaire Gucci master to real estate developer. During this time, the FBI did indeed have access to Alumari's phone and all the very
What's his obsession with these female purses, though? What is this all about? Like, is that supposed to be a style now? Just because it's Gucci, these men are resorting to, it's like, I got enough money, I'm just gonna hold a purse. What is he carrying in the purse? Nail polish? Lipstick? Because it's not the money that he flaunts, or it's just an empty bag. Who knows? I'm just saying. He seems to be obsessed with these female handbags. Guys, if you're into that, you need to reevaluate. Just because Gucci told you that it's not okay for you to be walking around here with female handbags. What's wrong with these people?
Incriminating messages on there. And on June the 8th, 2020, Abbas and 11 others.
Bernard, you're cracking me up. Bernard said he should have gone to Equatorial Guinea and hid in the village. Now, Bernard, I don't think he'll be able to live the lifestyle there. I mean, you saw the video last week. Hush Puppy can't live that way, man. He's too addicted. Not the Equatorial Guinea village. He can't survive that.
Others were arrested by Dubai authorities as part of a series of raids that confiscated 47 phones, 21 laptops, $7 million worth of luxury cars, $40 million in cash, and the addresses of almost 2 million victims of the fraud ring. Abbas was taken to the US and in April pled guilty to money laundering and wire fraud charges. He awaits sentencing but faces up to 20 years in jail. In one of the strangest twists in this case, in February of 2021, the US Justice Department revealed new details regarding the Malta Bank scam. As it turns out, the entire thing was being operated by state-sponsored North Korean hackers who were connected to Abbas via Alomari.
Did you guys hear that? North Korea. This is how North Korea makes its money. Okay? Hush Puppy was working for the North Koreans, but he himself wasn't aware that he's working for them.
It's possible that Abbas had no idea he was working with the North Koreans due to the loose nature of these networks of scammers. Really, it seems more likely that they used him and the other loaders as disposable proxies. North Korean participation in the other scams remains unclear, but in the Malta scam,
he had 24 laptops. So did you guys hear that? So this ring, so Hush Puppy, even though he's looking like, making all this money, he was just a proxy. He's been used without knowing. His greed for money, he's been used by North Korea. North Korea, this is how they make the money. So a lot of these guys in Nigeria, they're working for North Korea without even knowing. Because that's where all the funds ends up at.
the FBI believes that more than half of all the money stolen went to North Korean state-controlled bank accounts. Oh dear. What's my conclusion? Greed, pride, narcissism, Gucci. Sign of the times. Once, if you stole $500 million, that would probably be enough, but now, apparently not. Apparently it's not enough without adoration too, even if that adoration is bought, even if that adoration puts your liberty in jeopardy. It's like watching a society-wide madness unfold in real time, but I can't work out if it's the type of madness that's new. So it goes. Thanks very much for watching.
Guys, you've heard that, right? So now I'm going to show you the video of, they have this program called Catfish. I mean, you can imagine what a catfish smells like. Catfish is one of these things where, like you meet the woman on the internet and she tell you, oh, I'm 5'2", light skin. My name is Stacy and I'm beautiful. Okay. And they send you this picture, but then you show up. Stacy is trashy. She's not Stacy. She is not what she said she is. So she looked more like a catfish. So I'm guessing that's where this comes from. So with the internet, I just showed you Hush Puppy, where he came from and how others look up to people like him in Nigeria. So now one of those people, he is currently a scammer himself, but he wants to expose it. He's part of it. He wants to expose it. That's what we're about to watch. It's done by a show called Catfish.
Another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com. A couple of weeks ago, we received an email from a man who claimed he had some valuable information about romance scams. He told us that he's watched a lot of our videos, but that it's time that we hear it from the scammer's side.
Dave, I got a call for you.
Hey, hang on 1 second, okay?
Alright.
Hi, this is David with Social Catfish. How are you?
I'm good. You too.
So this guy, he's talking to someone in Nigeria. So he's going to show us exactly how this works and why he is doing it.
I think you're the light one, a bit chubby, right?
I'm a bit chubby, maybe. I try not to be.
Oh, I recognize the three of you. You are two guys and the lady. So I'm trying to picture who I'm talking to out of the three of you.
Yeah. So that's me. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro.
And
good.
and what's your name?
Oh, brother, let's keep that anonymous. Just it can.
What, see, this is clue when you're talking to a 419er, especially Nigerian. If you ask them what their name is, and they say, "Oh, let's keep that out of this," and then later they think about a quick name and say, "Hey, my name is Olumide." You're like, "I thought you said let's keep this out." They're not gonna tell you. The point is, they're not gonna tell you their name. Okay, they won't. So this here would help you understand, because you see, it got to the point where everybody, they would think every Nigerian is a scammer. It's just like, drug dealers. Not every black person is a drug dealer in America. I mean, yes, there's plenty of black drug dealers around in America. There's tons of them. But that doesn't mean every black person, every black American is a drug dealer. Or you see people, doing, wherever you see them, they are loud and obnoxious. Yes, there's black women that do that, but it's not all of them. You get the point. So, but this guy is going to walk us through, and you will see exactly how the game goes, and the type of people that fall. I don't know if I would call them victim, but who fall for this get rich quick scheme thing.
An African name actually you won't be able to pronounce it. So that's it.
What would you want me to? Do you have like a nickname or something you want me to call you instead?
Alright, yeah, call me Marvelous. That's actually my name, Marvelous.
Marvelous. All right, Marvelous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Marvelous, you contacted us. You said you have some insider information. I would love to hear a little bit about what you have.
So we gathered our questions and we interviewed him. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
Do you talk to other people about scamming, or is it something you guys kind of keep to yourselves, but everybody knows about it?
It's something people brag about. I have this client, I've scammed this amount, so amounts, this amount. So it's something everybody talks about, but I'm not that type that talk.
So obviously, they will keep it a secret, but as he said, some of them brag about it. Some, they take pictures and put it on Instagram, like Hush Puppy and others. But this guy It's not a make-believe actor whatsoever. It's an actual person. You will get to see him put, video footage, turn it to camera to show us where he lives and everything, what the place, the ghetto look like. You guys thought the ghettos only exist in America? I mean, in Africa, there's ghettos. I mean, it's not like places like Equatorial Guinea where almost half of the country, 3/4 of the country is pretty much considered a ghetto. You guys I saw you the video here. Some of the countries are that way. Half the country might look like a ghetto, but some places it's not that way. You have the ghetto and the good side.
Scam to survive, not to like brag. So that's the difference. So the difference is clear.
But scamming's not your passion. You're just doing it because
To survive. Yeah. Just to survive. Yeah, brother.
And so what's the most you've ever gotten from one of your clients, from a victim?
1,000.
Once you get money from somebody, you just get rid of them? What do you do?
Of the clients, yeah, sure, you get rid of them because there's nothing more they will do for you. The money has to keep coming, keep coming, keep coming.
And hey, I just want to let you know.
FBI Nigels said, Afridamus, do you think Pop was breaking the Constitution? Well, he scammed American citizens, American companies. So that's how he ended up, being brought here. Because, he thought he was in Dubai. Dubai don't have extradition laws, with the United States. So he thought he was safe. But what he didn't know, the FBI, they can snatch you out of a country through mysterious ways without you even knowing. So that's what happened to him. They didn't do any official, extradition. But yeah, it is, they gotta protect American citizens, in and out of the country. So they went for him. Yes, he broke he broke the US law for sure, stealing.
Oh, we're not going to show anything that reveals you. Like I give you my word. I don't agree with what you do. I don't think you're a terrible person. What you do is wrong. You know that. And I don't need to tell you. But I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize you. I just want you to know that.
All right, brother. Thank you.
This is what's crazy to me is everybody I talk to, Marvelous, they all say the same thing. They all say, look, I scam to survive.
The main problem is no job, no employment, nothing. The maximum amount a gas station staff earn in Nigeria is 15,000. And 15,000 should be, if I'm right, should be something like $45 or $30 a month.
People, did you hear that? Imagine where he lives in Nigeria. This is common. The people are earning 40, he's not sure, maybe 30 or $45 a month. I mean, I will even give them the benefit of the doubt. Say $45 a month. I mean, $45 a month? If you're in America, you'll be like, oh man, I can't believe that. But that's all someone is making for a whole month, an entire month. $45 a month. So that's way, way below poverty level. And that's how it is in play. I mean, imagine if these people are making 45 or $30 a month. Places like Equatorial Guinea, $12 a month. That's a problem. That's a problem. That could push people to, mysterious, professions.
An average Nigerian will spend 1,000 on food in a day.
Naira.
That is
1,000 naira?
Yeah, on food. That is like $2.5, if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
You spend nothing less than 500 naira on transport a day. It's just something you can't live on.
If I become a hairstylist, right, a barber, how much can I make in Nigeria?
400 to 500 naira per hair. That is like $1 per hair.
$1 a head, people. dollar a head. So how many people you gotta cut? Like you gotta cut 10 people's hair to make $10. To make $10. Think about that for a minute. That's brutal, you know? So when they see a different opportunity, they are jumping right on it. So that's what pushes them.
A dollar per haircut.
Yeah, per haircut, that's it.
So in order just to eat for the day, you would have to cut 3 people's hair.
Now you're right, brother.
So what time is it there right now?
It's 6:27 right now in Nigeria. It's there.
See, he's showing us, his environment where he lives. So, like when you talk about living in your ghetto, oh, someone saying they live in the ghetto in America. Oh, America is tough. Check this out, okay? You think your life is hard? Check this one out here and compare it to where you are at that you call your ghetto.
A bit cloudy. Let me show you outside. Hey, brother. Yeah. Welcome.
Walk us through the town. Walk us through what like daily life is for like a lot of people, because I think that's really interesting.
Okay, silent finger. So this is like a mini road to the town. Yeah, these are our own transport. I used to be here. Then here where I live, it's like a small town in a city.
So you guys see mostly the other people that go, they show you pictures of Banana Island and places like that. Look, this guy lives far away from Banana Island. He's nowhere close to Banana Island. So like this is the real deal. It's not like one of those people that are just giving you this false illusion. They show you some nice place and say, oh, you see, oh, you people that say Nigeria is poor or this country is poor. No, it's not. You see, we have nice place. We get it. We're not saying if the country, just because even Haiti have nice places, I'm pretty sure. Okay. But we're talking about the majority. So this guy, he is living there. He's living there. He's a scammer. So he's showing us the conditions that leads up to this. This is why I showed you Hush Puppy first. Imagine Hush Puppy came from this. This is one of you've heard this song. From the bottom, now we're here. So he came from the bottom, right here, to where he found himself, sitting on camels and everything, Bentleys. That's far from this. So this is what they aspire to be.
So we have almost everything we want here. This is a mini road. Can everybody moving? You can barely hear me right now because it's loud and maybe noisy.
See, they have the open sewage system. Like in some of these countries, it's terrible there with the open sewage system. I mean, yeah. Like I used to live in Sierra Leone. I know, man. It was terrible with that. And I saw, someone made a video about that. I would do a reaction on it and to speak on whether they're speaking the truth or not. But we'll come to that.
You can hear generators. These are generators. We don't have real electricity. These are hammer. Yeah, you can spike, man.
Oh yeah, Bernard, you drop this man in an American ghetto, he would pull himself up fast and he will do it legally. All he's got to do is get a software job. Or, one of these IT jobs. He'll be able to make it.
So this is like a mini supermarket here, like a store. Okay, you people call it store there. Yeah, we have our store too. this will buy stuff. Here is a gas station, an unfinished gas station. Just like I said, no drainage. This should be the work of the government if I'm right, but it's not.
There is no proper drainage within this town in Nigeria. Here you can see the amount of litter and sewage that is visible throughout the town. This is because of the government's negligence that they have for their country. Usually it is the government's responsibility to take care of the sewage and litter across their country.
You see, it has, when we have some of these people, the fake Pan-Africanists, they want to give a, fake reality of Africa. It had to take a white woman to go to show the truth here. And then when I showcase that, the people complain. But you see, when I showed you guys the video, even last time about Equatorial Guinea, wasn't it? It was worse than this. So you would see this across places in Africa, while the people the few that made it are living lavishly, and mostly that's government officials. And they create environments for people like Hush Puppy who grow up in this, so they find a way to get themselves out. So that's where you see, all this scamming and stuff like that.
However, as you can see, the government does not care about where its citizens live. They also don't educate their citizens about the impact cleanliness has on their environment. So many citizens in Nigeria don't know the impact their litter is having on their well-being. By the way, guys, we work really hard on these videos. We appreciate all the support, and it always goes appreciated. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get back into it.
So here is a school, a mixture of a school and a church. Yeah.
And I noticed that the school has the barbed wire on top. Why is that?
Yeah, because of security purpose, bro. So far you're in Nigeria, anything is not safe.
Right.
Actually, so particular.
You guys, I know, remember when I was saying, oh, in most of Africa it's not safe. People, they are like, oh, Afridamus, you're just self-hating. When I said the white people did Africa a favor to draw those lines, if there was no lines, do you know what would happen? And people, bending out of shape. But you see, the man who even lived there, he just showed us a video from his phone. Even the school, they have to put the barbed wire around it. If they don't put it there, it's dangerous. There's a reason why you see the bars. It's not like, they're next door to the zoo. They live amongst human beings. So I'm just here to shed lights on the truth. It's not to offend people, make people feel some type of way. It's for us to see these things. And if you feel different about it, you feel different, you should ask yourself why. What can you do if that's what you are into, instead of complaining, without bringing any evidence to counter what is being shown here.
Areas, because
So is there a lot of construction that goes on?
obviously, yes, here is one, here is one.
Is it the government? Are they people? Who's building?
It's not the government, it's the people. The government does not care about you a lot. Unless it's election period, yeah, they'll come. This is another church. Nigeria is such a religious country. We are very religious and we are very corrupt. Yes.
How is it that you guys are very religious but also very corrupt? Because usually the two are very different.
Yeah, it's how am I supposed to say this? There's this way of saying, hear what I preach, don't do what I say.
Right.
Hear what I don't do as I say. So that is the principle that works in Nigeria. If Nigerian pastors are corrupt, yeah, but they'll come to a town and tell you to hear what they preach, but don't do as they say.
You guys remember when I said the corruption is not only with the officials at the top? The man that lives there, he's telling us how it's everywhere, even the pastors. They just tell you, you know, do as I say, but don't do as I do. You know, like what do you mean? That's like telling your kids, oh, go read a book. A book would help you, make you smart. But every time the kid turns around, you're over there sitting there, watching TV all the time. Your action doesn't match your words. Kids live by examples. People go by example. They go by what they see. So if you're telling them one thing and living your life another way, you're being a fraud. You're being a wrong example. And the way what you're showing, if that's more attractive to the person that is looking up to you or trying to get to that level, guess what? They are going to do exactly what you are telling them not to do.
Do as they act. So that's it.
How many people like are scamming? Is it the younger people, is the older people? What people are the ones?
Once you're 15 and above in Nigeria, you are into it. Either ways, you are into it. Is that one of your family members into it? Is either one of your brothers, one of your friends?
And so that's your house. That's where you live.
Yeah, sure. You can see it's not really a big boy's house. It's just like I told you guys the other time. It's a right survivor.
Do you own your house, or are you renting, or you live with your parents?
Imagine, do you think, compared the way Hush Puppy was living, compare that to this place? This guy is sitting there on Instagram, many of him, not him per se, but people in his situation, they are checking out Hush Puppy's Instagram, and he's telling them, hey guys, you can be like me. You just gotta keep working hard. That's code message for keep putting in that work on the internet. So do you think if the opportunity land, eh, you know, the opportunity comes their way, they've been doing it for less than $100. Now they're talking millions. What do you think they're gonna do? What do you think they're gonna choose?
Parents?
I rent an house. I don't live with my parents.
According
Mr. Untouchable said, I don't see many paved roads in residential areas, some parts of Africa. Yeah, I mean, you would rarely see that in African countries, to be honest. Most places you see is not going to be paved. Very few places.
to the World Bank, 40% of Nigerian citizens are living below the poverty line, with 25% of people at risk of falling below the poverty line. They know that if they can scam an American citizen out of $1,000, it would equal up to 410,500 naira. Along with this, an average salary in Nigeria is 15,000 naira a month.
What's your goal? Like, do you want to move out of Nigeria? You want to stay in Nigeria? And
Thank you, Royal Class. That's what it's all about. To, you know, get people to actually see the truth. It's not picking on somebody. Because you see, when you put the mirror in front of someone, because this man that is exposing, their own occupation, not everyone in it really wants to do it, but the only opportunity that's available to them, that's what they're taking. So you can learn from that and see where the origins of all this is, and also not to fall victim to it, or sell your soul to the devil if you're thinking about it.
and try to just build some wealth? Like, what's your goal long term?
Definitely, I'll move out of Nigeria.
Like out of Africa too, or
Out of Africa, out of Africa. That's it. I have to move out.
like if you could move anywhere right now, where would you move to?
It would be the States, bro.
The United States.
Yeah, I have a skill, I have knowledge. I try to learn every day. I buy books online just to improve my knowledge. So I think if I get there, I have bigger chance of surviving legally than what we do here in Nigeria.
And I remember you were saying that you're learning like programming, computer programming.
Actually, yeah, I did, and I have my certificates.
So this guy, he's computer literate. Obviously, for them to be able to engage in this, they um, they have to have computer skills. So obviously, you heard the guy is trying to do what's best, but the opportunities that are available around him would not let him. Oh, Kwesi, yeah, Kwesi, I'll check that side. I already did. Ignore this person. They don't. Their country is the most corrupt country in Africa, and there's nothing she can do about that. And for her to even try to defend that, you know, is beyond me. People that are responding to it, you're wasting your time, because it's rather silly to see somebody defend such behavior. Come on, let's focus on this one here.
But if you could do that full time and stop scamming, would you do it?
Obviously, yes, I will.
And Kwesi, you are absolutely right. It is Equatorial Guinea is on there, not Guinea. Hey, DMF, what's up? Good seeing you here, DMF. It's been a while.
And I came up with something that I think might help you guys.
What's that?
I'll give you guys maybe 4 words to tell people to use. Those words are like my friend in local language. When once you tell a scam those words, they'll just leave you because they believe you are one. Like they believe you are a scam like them.
What are
Yeah,
those words?
it's maybe I should type it. You'll be able to understand it. Alaye Paddy, my guy, Alpha. Those
He's telling the words, the terms that they use. When they use that, that means, that's code word to show that they are scammers. So alai padi afa. Again. So in English, that means my friend, bro, what's up?
words are like my friend, body, bro, what's up? So when people say those words, like when you text those words to guys, they just reply you with maybe smiles. Once people that understand those words, they are scams.
Could we help the victims out that you've stolen money from? I mean, if you had the chance to help those people out and pay that money back somehow, would you do it?
Sure, sure.
What if
So you see, this guy, he's not a big timer, but you can see he has some conscience. He's trying to find another way out. He's not being sucked in by the greed. He's trying to find another way out. And guess what? This guy here, the host that is interviewing him, he he's asking him good questions and he's gonna present solutions to him. But you will get some of these guys who would have said, "Oh, the white man is just using him," but no, the white man is about to save him from going astray.
I gave you some work to work it off and I'll pay them back for you?
It's for real, yeah, I would do that.
Okay. So what if I gave you some dev work, some development work?
Oh, sure, to pay them back. Yeah, I have a woman in mind to actually pay back.
Oh, have you ever built a scraper like a PHP scraper before?
Yeah, sure. But I have to like maybe read over it tonight more it's been long I did something like that.
Read about it tonight and let me see if we can come up with an idea for you to pay back some of your victims.
So you see, if this guy is not the lack of skills, if he were here in the United States, he would have been making tons of money because of the skill he has. But in Nigeria, His skill, the only way he can get anything from it is through the scamming. So you see how it all comes about. It's not like some guys, they just wake up, they're like, oh yeah, in Nigeria here, we love scamming. That's what we do. Now, it's people that are definitely destitute. I'm pretty sure some do it for profit, and eventually they make it to certain stages like Hush Puppy. They even take it to a whole new level. Does that happen? Absolutely. The greed sets in. Ego. Their ego eats at them. But this man, this Nigerian man, it's a lack of choice. But now he's been presented with an opportunity and he's going to take it like a legit opportunity.
And then you can also learn some more dev and PHP work in the meantime.
Okay,
Does that sound like a plan?
sure.
Okay, I'll hold you to it. What I'll do is I'll pay you some money, and then the difference I'll pay the victims, and we'll start paying off your victims.
Thank you.
Does that work?
Sure, it works.
I appreciate the time, and I appreciate you wanting to be honest and turn things around. And by the way, I appreciate you not asking for money or anything. All these interviews I ever do, everybody's always trying to pit me for iTunes gift cards.
Actually, I'm not. Like I told you, I'm not.
I get it. I know. I know you won't. So, all right, Marvelous. You have a good night. Thank you.
All right.
All right, I'll talk.
So, guys, you see, right? Again, for instance, you have some of the people who always put the emphasis on, oh, it's about, it's about race, but they wouldn't talk about helping young men like that to try to shift their mindset. Mr. Untouchable said, Africa was on the development of Africa wasn't through African greed alone. No, that's true. I'm not saying entirely. When it comes to greed, it's not just one size fits all. So in that aspect, you're right. But if you look at it, this one here is driven by what? Poverty and greed. The people are inspired by what they are seeing. People like Hush Puppy. So this is why I wanted to give you the context on both sides of the spectrum. I'm gonna drop the link in, take a couple of calls here. See, what do you guys think about what you've heard, what you've seen so far? And did this change your perspective of, how you used to think about, Nigerian scammers? Like when you hear Nigerian scammers, did you used to think, oh, it is every single person from Nigeria? If that's the case, maybe this show changed your mind. Call in, let me know. Because quite frankly, Hush Puppy could have, as you can see, he lifted himself out of, whatever poverty he came from. But his ego, the greed, wouldn't let go of him. And that's what consumes a lot of people. Like, so when I was talking about the dictators, right? There is something about the African, if you look at it, want to flaunt and show everybody what they have. I know this is not about, like the brutal dictators of Equatorial Guinea, but look at even the vice president there, the son and the father, the type of lavish lifestyle. Somehow they have to engage in some weird way of doing things. That vice president, you're a vice president, He palmed his hair, laid it all out, trying to, look like something that he isn't. And then you look at Hush Puppy, he pretty much, yes, he wanted to lift himself out of the poverty, but it was short lived because no bad deed goes unpunished. At some point, the things that you're taking that doesn't belong to you would have to be returned. You have to pay your pound of the flesh. That's just the reality of the universe. So that's why he couldn't stop himself. He continued to be, the person that he believed that's what he was destined to be. And then the second young man, the story, um, just to give you the background of the type of environment most of these people come from and how he decided to change his life around, you know, it's all to show that, if the opportunity is available for most, I think they would choose the legit route. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show. I want to thank all of you for coming here, even those who pretend not to like the show, but deep down they really love the show. You're all welcome here. Like and subscribe, share with your friends. And I get it. Some people don't like what is said here sometimes, but we can agree to disagree. That's what the comment section is all about. You're free, to comment. And, you can disagree with me. That doesn't mean there is any issue between us. I don't expect people to agree with me on everything I say or disagree with me on things. Um, it's based in facts, and people can see facts differently. But if you're about what is right, facts don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about what you think or not think, or if you think it should be in your favor or not, whether it's fair or not. Facts are just facts. 1 + 1 is 2. If you try to make 1 + 1 3, that's going to be a problem. And that's what most people are facing, especially, in these spaces. So that's why I make it open to everybody. You're all welcome here. Because if you notice, you go to some spaces where they want to tell each other just stories for people to feel good, or they would feel distracted, talk about 1865, 1765. Look, you guys, if you've been watching me, I'm a history buff. I'm into history. Um, I took plenty of history classes when I went to the 13th grade back in the days. Um, yeah, I took plenty of history, world history, African American history, you name it. I did it all in the 13th grade. But that's all fine and dandy. We look back to those things, so that we don't repeat that, so that we can be smarter than, the people, because we've already got the blueprint. But if your argument is just based to satisfy your own ego, that is never productive, because it's not based in anything other than what you individually think should be the truth. That's not how life works. So if someone looks like Hush Puppy situation, I bet you some people are gonna try to defend it. So in their mind, they are arguing with me when in reality, I'm presenting real life stories. That's what I'm presenting here. We have one caller here before I leave. Let's see what he has to say. To Niger, welcome to the show.
Yeah, how are you?
I am doing well. How about yourself? Long time no see.
Have I? It's not been that long. I was in Germany days ago.
Oh.
Um, this matter that you brought up today, is a fact of life that Nigerians tend to do this type of stuff. I'm not going to knock you for bringing the issue up, but I hope you also bring up the issue where Nigerians outperform your people and all the other groups in America too. That would be interesting for you to talk about. I feel like, some of all these things that you highlighted them in a way that, that tries to see both sides. But you didn't need to bring the European to come and tell us what is going on the continent, or what's going on in the country.
So wait, this is the thing. Why wouldn't we have to bring the white man? Anytime you bring the white man, the Africans start telling the truth. The Africans lie to the Africans. So this is why we need the white man to go get the truth out of them and bring it to us.
You remember you said that these people, they don't like to operate in Nigeria because they know that Nigeria is a hostile environment for them now.
Right.
This is one of the reasons why SARS is hated. Because SARS, if you carry even a laptop, they are on your case.
Oh, okay. You know what? To Niger, you brought up a good case, because I remember people were talking about SARS. They said they would confiscate your laptop. They check people's phone. Now that you brought it up, that makes sense. That makes sense. This is why they were checking people's laptops.
Yeah. The issue with this thing, for me anyway, if I'm looking at what you did this evening, what I take issue with is the title. And you said I think it's almost like a clickbait. You said and the damage is still being done. When they associate a nation to a certain trait, they miss out all the other great traits that they have. Because
but
now,
so you have a problem with my title. Yeah. Why do you have a problem with my title if I'm telling the truth?
The title is telling an old truth. There's so many truths to be telling, isn't there?
But what I'm saying is, what is it about the title that is untruthful?
They are saying emails from Nigerian,
but that's
so
how
many of them are scammers.
Well, this is how they acquire people's information via email.
See,
that's how it's done.
You are talking about the group that outperforms any other group in America. And this is the topic you chose to talk about.
They outperform every group as in what?
Academic achievements.
That's not
in America.
Yes, they do. Alpha let me say this. Let you guys go at it. You're about to wrap it up, right?
Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up.
So you didn't know that?
I just want to be short. To Naja, just prepare for the next conversation about what you just said right now, right? Yeah. Let's talk about the wealth being spread in Africa. Let's talk about the Nigerian coming over in other countries and making money, and us not being able to go to Nigeria and make the same kind of money. Let's talk about that too.
Yeah, we can talk about that, because I feel like when you have a group that outperforms other groups in America and he is focusing on this one, it's good to focus on something negative that is going on.
But
I noticed that it's a pattern.
Why do you want me to? You guys already have several channels where you can go to and just fluff each other up and talk about things that makes you guys feel good. Great. I'm not over there saying, hey, you guys should be talking about this, that, and that. This is, I told you the last time, the Afridamus is the most trusted news source on this side of YouTube. So therefore, I have to keep it, factual. These are the topics that, I want to talk about. The last time, I have announced this topic a while, like since last week, I announced it that we're going to be bringing this topic. So are you ashamed by the behavior of these people? That's why you are offended by my title? Is that what it is?
No.
Then what's the problem?
See, there's nothing about shame in this matter. I'm saying that when you create a negative image about the people, you are not just doing damage to the ones that are doing the bad things, you are also doing damage to the good ones.
Tunaja. Okay, Tunaja. You've listened to the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have I not made it clear here that this is a segment of Nigerians that do this, and it is not every Nigerian. People have common sense. They know this. It is a well-known joke. This Nigerian email thing, you can pretend all you want. Here in America, this is a good old joke. People say, they talk about the Nigerian email.
Yeah, I know about that. I think
Yeah. So I'm not over here, like reinventing the wheel, or I'm talking about, something that, people didn't know. It's like a hush hush situation, and I just came and let the cat out of the
why
bag.
don't you let them do it? They are the ones
Who
that
is
are very
they?
good at.
But
See,
this is what I want to do. The Afridamos report.
yeah,
Like I
but
said,
that's what I'm saying.
you guys have channels where you go there and talk about the things you like, and over here at the Afridamos report, you seem to always have issues with my title or the topic. Like, if you're not coming
Because
here
he
telling
insists on
me,
talking about the
wait,
bad things, never talking about the good things.
there are bad things.
Yeah,
Okay, so if I don't,
and you're
if there,
damaging everyone else in the process.
so how is this going to stop?
Oh no, the truth is, what you are saying right now is not going to matter in the bigger scheme of things, because the trajectory is in the other direction. If anything, people are beginning to understand that Nigerians are really, really, they have their gifts that they come with, and we are exerting it to the point whereby even the scammers are not comfortable in Nigeria at all. If
So,
anything, this hush puppy, the Nigerians helped do him in. The Nigerian authorities work with the international authority to do him in. So that
but
image is not as
but
clear cut anymore.
okay, so what I'm saying is, so this channel, people come here for different reasons. Obviously, you see people coming to watch. So they obviously, when they came and saw the previous conversations you call, negative, they obviously they saw those videos, they came back. In fact, many people are like, oh, Afridamos, thank you, we did not even know about this, thanks for exposing this out. And these people are learning, even Africans that hear about, they would hear about Nigerian scamming. They don't even understand how the scamming works, and there is many that have the misconception, whether they tell you to Niger or not, but every Nigerian they see as a scammer. So you see here with my show, the way I broke it down, somebody watching this would realize, okay, this is why I gave examples of, how the dynamic works in America too. Like if you say, oh, these black people are drug dealers, not every black person is a drug dealer. Are there black drug dealers? Of course. You see? So this is no different. Would you rather me do like you guys do, talk about, the Mali Empire, and Kemet, and just fantasize about things that are not there, and talk bad about white people, instead of pointing these things out that you quote unquote you're saying are bad things. If they are bad, who's going to talk about it? If everybody's talking about these false realities that do, 1 minute people are saying, oh, Africa needs to improve, but then when somebody talks about what is holding Africa back and some of the things that Africans do, all of a sudden the person is negative. This person is over here taking Africans down. But if I come and just make believe, oh, you know what, an African, invented the Ferrari, the white people stole it, then everyone is like, yeah, Afridamos is so smart. when in fact I'm telling
Mm,
lies. So this is not
I
it's not
think
about
that
feelings,
I think
you
that in
know.
the very topic itself, I guess you make your specialism on Africans. The very topic is when you talk about scams and all the rest. If you really want to look at scams, you find out that the other groups are doing it like on a totally different scale. And that's what we're talking about. Is
What group are
petty
you
scam.
talking
Every
about?
other group, just name it. Every other group
Okay,
is doing it on a higher
so
level.
so
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 what we are talking about,
so
our
what
own
you
is what we are doing is petty scam compared to what
really?
the others. Yes, compared
So
to what the other
so
groups are
so
doing.
what I'm saying, when you
Haven't you
say
seen?
groups,
Haven't you
wait,
seen?
to
Haven't
Niger.
you seen in the House of Congress itself how many millions the House of Congress members are making because of the advantage they get from being House of
So
Congress? They are scamming the market all the time,
so
making
you're
millions from there.
so therefore Hush Puppy and the inspiring Nigerians should be able to steal this money because the House of Congress allocated this for themselves. Is
I'm
that what
saying,
is
I'm
that
saying,
is that
stop
what you're
pecking
telling
down.
me?
Stop pecking down. Peck up because
Oh,
there are
oh,
bigger
so
problems
so
out there.
so Hush Puppy.
Yeah.
Did you see Hush Puppy sitting on a camel?
No, that guy. See, to be fair, you are quite correct to call him like somebody like a buffoon for doing what he did.
Okay,
But
look here, Tunaya. You see, like just like Bernard said, it's like he took it right out of my mouth. Did you ever know that even Hush Puppy and others, this scamming is not leading to Nigeria, it leads to North Korea. Have you ever known that?
I don't get what you mean by that.
The scammers,
Mm-hmm.
they themselves, Hush Puppy, he's
Mm.
scamming. He, he he probably don't even know that he was working for North Korea.
Aha. How does that work? Because
See,
he's the one spending the
but
money.
wait a minute. But you were not listening to the program. If you were listening, you see how Bernard, you know, wrote it in the chat. He said that I just informed him of that. So people are learning new things here. See, you were just rushing. Oh, I want to go criticize Afridamus because I hate the title. I hate the title. I don't want to hear anything he has to say. So long if he's not saying that, we invented the moon, me and Afridamus, I'll always criticize him. That that's what you're doing to Niger.
So I don't understand. You said something about North Korea. I just wanted clarification of what you meant by that. That they
So
are working for North Korea.
to
What?
Niger,
How?
did you know? Okay, North Korea, right? They are the number one state. Like they are scammers. This is what they make their money from stealing from, the West. These big companies, but
Mm.
they cannot, because they cannot direct the funds straight to North Korea. They cannot leave paper trails. So now it's like a middleman thing. Hush Puppy and others are middlemen. They are the ones doing the deed, collecting this money, but not all of it is going to them. Just part
Mm.
is going to them. So now there's no paper trail. The money would be laundered big time before it makes its way to North Korea. They are the bigger bosses.
Ah. So why do you think North Korea is doing this?
To make money.
Why?
To make money. I just
Okay, so let me explain to
just
you why North
just the
Korea
same.
does that. Because what
To-
you just said just now just falls into an engine that I already know about.
No,
Um,
Tunaja, you did not know this, because if you knew that, you would have heard me say it in the conversation, and
if
then
you see, I
you
learned
wouldn't
something from you. Can you learn something from me?
you wouldn't have
Okay.
focus on the title alone.
Okay, let me let you know why North Korea is doing that. North Korea is using it as a kind of warfare against America. They are trying to make counterfeits of American currency. Whenever they get those hard currencies, they'll convert it and make fake one and keep the original
Well,
one.
yeah, they're in the
So
counterfeit market too.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, as far as the way they make their money, because think about it, North Korea, they are sanctioned all over the place, all over the yin yang. Remember, you were asking, you said North Korea is poor. How are they able to build nukes? Well, bingo. They are not poor. They are getting money from places. So people like these small guys you call the Yahoo boys, okay? Eventually they become the agents, but they don't even know that they who they are working for. They are just in it to make money for themselves. But the opportunities go from stage to stage up till they come to that contact, but they themselves will not know that that's who they are doing for. All they care about is they are receiving money. They are willing to do the
North
job.
Koreans, see the way they get most of their money. Believe in me, if they are going to just be generating money and buying stuff from the market like that, it's not going to be that easy. They tend to flood. What they tend to do is flood the US, this thing, create US dollars, try to use the flood the market through Hong Kong and all the other, like South Korea, all the other nations that they can have access to. If they are doing this one with scammers and all the rest, that's very interesting. I've never had that angle of it when I studied that topic. But it's something that they do. They see it as it's not about money only. It's about war against the US dollar. They are trying to undermine the US dollar because the more you have fake US dollars out there, the more people lose this in confidence on the US dollar. So that's one of the
Yeah,
things that they are
but
doing.
either way, that's my point. Even people today, there are people who are in this game. They themselves, if they watch this Afridamus report here, they would learn something. Even though I'm talking about them, they would say, "Oh, we never knew. The big fish is North Korea. There are bigger players in this. We thought we were doing it for ourselves, but we are getting caught up in a trap." This is why people like Hush Puppy, they are the fall guys, because if there's a crime, at some point they have to have a body. They have to have a person who's going to take the fall.
The
So
Nigerians are working for North Korea, and if they are working for North Korea somehow, inadvertently, they are basically working for the people that are down the totem pole. North Korea is not close to being the biggest boys in this,
but
so
okay,
I don't
so
know.
in your mind,
Yeah,
how much would somebody have to steal for you to to put it at the top of the totem pole? How, like how many Bentleys do they have to have? How many Gucci purses? How many camels? And how many swimming pools do they have to take birth in, like they're in the village river? Like how
see,
much do they have to steal for you to Niger to consider it to be big enough?
I am one of those people that I don't know whether it's true, to be slightly more impervious to suggestive reasoning, where people tell you, oh, this guy is bad, this guy is bad, you should think that person is bad. No, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to look at the numbers, because there is always an objective truth out there. If you want to find it, you find it. Don't just buy what people tell you. There are people out there that are scamming this world of billions upon billions on a
Well,
daily basis,
you
and
would
we
you
are busy fighting over scraps everywhere, fighting each other like, oh, this guy is a
but when
scammer,
you
this one is
say
a scammer.
we to Niger, I am not
Everybody
over
else, not only
to
you,
Niger.
actually, even Europeans are doing the same thing.
Okay, I know. Great. To
Yeah, they are all
Europeans are
fighting each other over
wait.
little change.
Europeans are doing it. The aliens from Mars are doing it. Okay. Somehow on the Afridamus radar today.
Nigeria, Nigeria, isn't it? Nigeria is your radar.
Look, my thing is, I'm African, so I talk about Africa. Okay, that's what I do. I talk about Africa. So
I guess.
if you have your rankings, and think, you know, um, you have your comparison. I mean, you guys have channels, literally channels dedicated to
What do you
this.
mean, you guys? See, you keep making it look like so. It doesn't mean just because everybody else is talking positive, you come here and start bad mouthing people all over the place. That you say, okay, well done, because you are
Really?
different. You
Who am I?
just had to do it.
Who am I bad mouthing?
You're bad mouthing this in Nigeria right now, saying Nigerians are just scammers and all the rest of it. And you say you are specialist on Nigeria. You say you are specialist on Africa or black people, but it's convenient because you don't want to be specialist on the people that really matter. Because
So
we
Nigerians
Africans
don't
are
matter.
running. I'm
Wait,
telling you right now,
Nigerians don't matter now.
in the scale of economy and cash, we don't. If you want
So
to pretend as if
okay,
Africans do,
you see what you're
we
doing
don't.
here. So you claim Nigerians are outperforming every immigrant group
Yes.
in the US, but
Yes.
then you turn around, right, at the same time, saying, when I'm speaking of the truth, because we are speaking on what is real. It's not about how I feel or what I see. So you're adding your feelings to it, talking about bad mouthing. So if it's in the what we can prove, you don't want to prove it. You just say you're bad mouthing us, but then you're quick to say, oh, we're outperforming everybody in the US, which in fact is not true. But we will have conversation about that
Have
tomorrow.
that conversation, you
We
find
will,
out.
we will look, don't worry, we will have
See,
that.
even Biro
Look,
Riley of Fox News was reading it. He couldn't believe his own mouth when he
yeah,
was reading it. So
whatever the news
if
says
Fox
is
News
true.
can buy it, if Fox News
Look,
can buy that kind of information,
okay, that's
it's facts.
well, we don't want to get distracted here. Um, we just
So
let's
why don't you
focus.
highlight that trait? Why don't you highlight that Nigerians are the proudest in Africans ever? Unapologetically, we are going to defend our heritage as much as we can. Yeah, we have all the baggages too, but we are unapologetic about what we are. You don't talk about the hardworking people that we are too. There are so many things that we are. We are not just one.
I just talked about hush puppy.
That title is not there. That
I
title
just
doesn't
talked
say
about hush
Nigerians are
puppy.
doing very well too.
Isn't hush puppy? Wasn't he doing well before he got arrested?
I don't consider that doing well. How can you consider that doing well? He's taking other people's money and doing well from it. How can you consider that doing well?
Oh,
That's not doing well. That's not a good example. That's not the future you want for the
oh,
country.
so okay, so then why do you have issues with me pointing that out?
Okay, I'm. You keep mixing these two things. I'm saying that you are coming out bad mouthing a whole people because you didn't say hush puppy. You said Nigerian. You see the difference? You are bad mouthing a whole people that is made up of different kinds of people. And this is what the Western media does.
You know, I have highlighted that. Okay, hush puppy was just a good representation, and obviously you haven't been listening to the show. You want to hear what you want to hear, and
No, you could have sent
and
email from
look,
Hush Puppy.
my
I don't
thing
know.
is, to
But
Niger, there are
Nigerian. You
people.
didn't
To
care which
Niger,
Nigerian it was. You are
to Niger
slandering,
people.
you are
This is
besmirching all Nigerians. When you say from Nigerian, you didn't specify any Nigerian.
well,
And you
people.
could have even said the name of the person. You didn't have to make it a country issue.
Oh, it is a country issue
Okay.
because I have plenty of videos, by the way, that I can show, and somehow I did a favor here because people see Nigerians as when you talk about scamming, they talk about Nigerian. So this is not a myth. So I don't know why you're getting all animated. There are Nigerians in this chat who are not offended by this. They know they and understand that it is not every single Nigerian that does this. But you came here trying to say, oh, you should hit the little guy. Somebody that is able to steal millions and millions is not a little guy. So
The thing
unless
is because
unless
if
you
they
if
don't
you have a
understand.
topic, if you have a topic in mind, like other people do, they they always write to me and I do the investigation on the topic. Okay? But let's see. We have St. James again. St. James, go ahead.
No, I couldn't let this go, but I guess I have a question for Tunaja, man. Tunaja, so you were too quick to point out Fox News, right? When it comes to those numbers,
No,
you
I
were too
said
quick.
I wasn't pointing out
And
Fox News
and
specifically.
O'Reilly's been gone 5 years too.
I'm pointing. I wasn't pointing out at the Queen. I said even if they can even admit that, it's
But
not a
that
good
makes
thing.
that makes you proud that the white person can talk about you, right?
No,
So that's why you
I,
refer to that
That's why
I
you.
information.
said it in a negative context.
No,
I
no,
said
no.
it in a negative way.
I would hope for you. I would hope for you next time when we're having that debate, so you can come with facts coming from the African part, like any kind of information that you have coming from the Africa. Let's not use the white people because you say you don't like them, right? Don't use the data.
What do you say? I don't like them. Who
You
said
know,
I don't like
No,
white people?
basically you were talking about.
action speaks louder than words. St. James, I'm glad you brought that. St. James, you see my video clip here
I don't know where
that
you
I
got the
played.
idea that I don't like them.
Our source, St. James, our source is directly from Nigeria and a Nigerian. So you see, I don't only, you cannot say, oh, Afridamus, you only taking the white man's view. No, the white man walking with the African, because the African is not going to tell the African the truth, but the white man, they would tell the white man the truth. So therefore, just like Equatorial Guinea, they banned me from going there, but hey, I will send a white man to get the information for me. Okay, so
That's
it's
what
the
I'm
same
trying to.
thing.
You can't tell a black man the truth, eh?
Tunaja,
Yep.
this information was not put out like on public like that. So when Fox News started talking about it, the Niger took it and ran with it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm trying to. No. When Fox, I remember that Fox News, the Bill O'Reillys, all these people, when they started talking about the Nigerians, this is when Nigerian took it and ran with it. You guys didn't bring it up until they brought it up.
No, not at all. It wasn't them.
No, for America, yes, Fox News. And they have a reason why they put that on Fox News, right? So we can have that
Come
conversation.
on, I can't believe you are making this about Fox News.
We can,
This
let's not.
information was there before Fox News even read it.
Let's not.
I knew about it for
I'm saying
years.
popular. It could have been there before, but the Niger took it when Fox News brought it up, and CNN took it on too.
Wow.
So the mainstream media kind of made it popular for you guys. You guys were not talking about it.
Stop saying it. So you would rather they are talking about us coming. What is wrong with people?
No. I'm not talking about this scamming.
Tunaja, if they are scamming, why can't we talk about it?
No,
it
but
is the
if they are
truth.
talking about positive thing, he's
No, but Tunaja, my thing is, if they are scamming, I can see you can be offended if I'm telling a lie, but I'm not telling a lie. This is true. I've shown videos.
Your title,
look,
is
my title.
Nigerians as scammers.
Really?
Yes.
Is that how you read it?
See, look at that email from Nigerian. Did you see any specific Nigerian?
Tunaja, I guarantee you, if you send an email to somebody here in America with a Nigerian name, they're gonna say a Nigerian email scammer. I can assure you.
Guess how that happens, because people
that happened because there were enough scammers
out there.
Because there were enough scammers. There were, even me myself that is talking to you here, I know people who were scammed by Nigerians. These are not white people even. I'm just keeping it real.
I don't know whom you're talking about.
Even myself, I have received these emails. Even now, I have received the WhatsApp thing that they do to try to get people's information. So therefore, if you don't want us to talk about this, then tell your countrymen. Tell your countrymen then to stop it. Then we don't have to talk about it.
People are doing it too. Point is that you are spreading.
The ones that the day when you get the Ghanaian ones, please send it to me. I will talk about it.
Why would I do that? Like, I want you to go and start staining all Ghanaians with the same thing.
Who
needs that? Because what you are doing the job that they've been doing on our continent for decades.
Isn't it about time that an African steps into the truth game to to bring out the truth.
Leave it to them to do, not for you to do.
Yeah,
Leave it for them
sure.
to try.
Hold
This
on.
is what
We
they
have
try to do
wait.
with
Give
Ethiopia
John Smith
recently
a chance to speak to. John Smith, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you, Mr. Prodamis?
Hey, John. Thank you for calling in again.
I just wanted to ask you to please do your next video on South Africa, man.
I will. See, thank you, John. I will.
And I just to be honest, that's what I wanted to say. You do one on South Africa, man. A lot of these people have to be exposed.
I will. Thank you. You're a good man, John. You're a good man.
Yeah, he's
you know, Tunaja, when I
do a
saw
negative
you
video on South Africa too. Is that what you're saying?
Tunaja, when you came on here, I thought you were here to come and thank me.
Thank you for besmirching your old
Okay, hold on. We have the conservative here. Conservative, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Prodamis?
I'm doing well. Hey, conservative, you're of Nigerian background, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you don't tell me you also called to be offended by the title.
No, not at all.
Okay, good. See, so to Niger, you are not the only Nigerian. The conservative is not offended by somebody speaking the truth. He doesn't do that.
Has his own opinion. Come on.
Okay, so is everybody. So conservative one, go ahead.
There's an objective truth.
Okay.
So what do you think about this video?
Is sending the same message into the ether, which is the zeitgeist that Nigerians should be stereotyped as corrupt people. No matter what this man does, no matter what he does, first thing they will see in his forehead is a scammer because of the work you are doing.
Right, but the thing is, there's over how many people live in Nigeria? There's over 200 people that live in Nigeria.
200 million.
Yeah, 200 million. Yeah, so there's 200 million people that live in Nigeria with all the resources that they have there. I mean, there's no reason why every part in Nigeria shouldn't have paved streets and more. I mean, there should be more in that country. I mean, it's like you know the way it is here in America. We take the paved roads and houses and everything else that we have here, and all that is provided by the government. So you would think that the Nigerian people would have the same basic things that we would have here. And considering that there's over 200 million people that live there in Nigeria, and the fact that everyone there pays taxes, the people should at least see a return on their investment. You know what I mean, for the things that are there, but we don't see it there.
Yeah, and my thing is two Nigerians argument. Hold on, two Nigerians argument saying I'm trying to make Nigerians look bad. Obviously, the whole world knows about this. You know, I'm not over here saying something that people don't already know. So to Niger, you are just not being honest. You know,
I'm being honest. I'm not saying it's a good thing that those things are happening.
Then why shouldn't
I leave it for other people to do? Your job is
so leave it for
what? The same bad message that they are sending because you don't specify. If you want to say a Nigerian person, you are saying the country. Why should you put it on the country? There are any people that are doing it.
I shouldn't talk about it because I'm black and I'm African. Is that what you're getting at?
So if you go to America and say all Americans are gone and this thing toting shooters that shoot people, innocent people, you think that is going to be good for every?
But that's not what my title. But my title
that's what you're
didn't.
doing. You said
really?
Nigerian email. You didn't say a scammer email or the name of the scammer. You get Nigerian email.
Okay, let's allow hold on. St. James, go ahead. Let's allow St. James.
Now, Alphadamus, I believe you should make a show, right? Let's talk about Niger power. So that will appease to Niger, man.
No, I don't care about that.
I mean, I don't know what you care about, really.
All I care about is there is no point this in black that's putting a negative image on a whole people. That is common sense. Even it's not fair. You can't
So
just say,
Tunaja,
email
so
is
I know you.
Nigerian, but you
I know
please
you.
specify which Nigerian you are talking about. It's
I
not
know you are
nice.
too smart. I know you are too smart to understand that we live in America and we see successful Nigerian people over here. So at least you
Why
know
is he
that.
not talking about those ones?
So that can be talked about. I don't understand why you get frustrated talking about Nigers are doing this, Nigers are
Because he
doing that.
does this
Well,
with almost every topic. He looks for one negative thing about our community and he highlights it, and especially the stereotypical ones that they put on
one
us.
negative
He goes
thing,
with it. Yes. If you
like
then go back
like
in history of your
corruption,
videos, you will see it exactly.
like corruption.
Like they are not corrupt here. Like the corruption that you see here is not the biggest one.
So
Africans are living in a sub-economy that whatever corruption they
Tunaja,
do in Africa
people in
is
Nigeria,
nothing.
people are making less than $50 a month. You want to compare that to America? Are you kidding me?
Exactly. So that is my point.
Exactly.
They are busy
So
highlighting people
no.
that are barely making anything out of
Well,
anything. They are
so
leaving the big elephant on the other side.
so if anybody is making, because you said corruption is here, so
Massive one.
obviously they're not corrupt enough to deprive the people from getting, sewage system, electricity, paved roads.
That tells you that is not
Wait a
linked to
minute,
corruption. It's not linked to corruption.
So
That's what it's telling you.
the people who are destitute, the people who are doing the things that they don't want to do, right? The whole world, anyone you'd ask, even an Eskimo, they know about the Nigerian email. They know this.
Oh my God.
Okay? The Eskimos, they called me. In fact, they're the ones that gave me this title, just so you know. They say, Afridamus, your next one should be the Nigerian emails. Are you happy now? They emailed me from an igloo. But
Tunaja, my teacher read a letter about Nigerians coming in my class. Trust me, I was embarrassed. I sat there and listened to it. But I understand, I mean, so.
But this is what they do. How are we sitting here? How are we sitting here besmirching a whole population?
She got the letter.
She got the letter. Accept.
She got the letter and she read the letter in the class. So I understand where she was coming from, right? But we have to speak about it, because even like you said, white people talk about their own corruptions.
Mm-hmm.
There is no topic that is off limits.
Being arrested? How many of them?
A lot of white people get arrested here.
Not at all. I can tell you that right now. Okay, let me give you an instance. The financial crisis of 2008. How many people got arrested?
The big fish burning
As
made of.
It was a Nigerian. I saw one Nigerian.
Hold on, Tunaja. You said because
Nigerian.
Thanks for proving our point. Wherever there's scam, a Nigerian is there.
They make
but Bernie Madoff,
he's a good soldier.
Tunaja, Bernie Madoff went to prison. He died in prison. What are you talking about?
One man died in prison because his son. Nobody caught him. It's his son that gave him up.
Tunaja.
His son ratted him out like they couldn't do anything else but lock him up.
Tunaja, you said, did anyone go down? Many people have.
Tunaja, the one ratting him out.
Wait, Tunaja, in America, they've had mayors of cities gone to prison. They've put ex-governors in prison. What are you talking about?
Before ex-governors will go to prison, they must have broken a code of the elite before they will put them in. What makes you think
Afadamus. Tunaja is now reading the news in America, man. Even senators are about to be tried here in America. Senators.
Oh my God! I can't believe people are saying
this. And Hush Puppy is going to prison in America too.
Black people are sitting here saying that the trillions of dollars disappearing in America every year.
Okay, Tunaja.
People don't have a clue where it's going. And you are saying
here we go again. You have to talk about white people. Even when we talk about what people in Nigeria
like to pick on our people, while the bigger elephant is on the other side, where they are the ones robbing us dry, right? Robbing everybody else, right? Including their people too.
Hush Puppy was the rob. He was Robin Hood, huh? He was robbing it from the robbers and giving it to the poor. Is that what was going on?
Tax havens, even. Do you even know? Can you give me an estimate?
Let's
It's
I
estimated
don't
to
think
be
you're
about
gonna
50
get
trillion.
yeah.
50 trillion in tax havens that nobody has
Tunaja,
access to. Only the elite have access to it.
Tunaj, can we talk about hush puppy?
But
That's
you don't
what
have a clue about that. You are talking about people that
Tunaj,
live in sub-economy. Do you know the budget of the entire country of Nigeria? 26 billion.
Tunaja. Let's talk about hush puppy. Okay, that's what the title is about. Let's talk about the scammers.
We are living in a sub-economy. Why bother? You are bottom feeding. You are bottom feeding and hitting on people that have already been hit for decades with this image, and you
So
don't even specify names.
So how come
Go after the whole country.
So Tunaja, is Nigeria the only African state? How come other Africans are not scamming?
So that was my question to Naja. Before they take it big to the west, where did they start?
Pardon?
Where did they start? Scamming African themselves.
Oh, you mean the
Yahoo boys? Where did they start? The Yahoo boy. Where did they start? They started in Africa.
Keep talking. I'll be right.
How does that counter what I've just said? I don't know.
No. You're talking about everybody else is scamming, but okay. If they begin scamming Africans, we shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, at the end, if the scamming is going on, it's happening. So
I don't know why Ituna just getting frustrated over there.
Okay, let me make this clear. It's a very one statement. He used the word Nigerian and not a name.
Listen, I would be damned to participate in a conversation where they're talking about all Nigerians. That's not what he said. We have Nigerian friends over here. We have Nigerian restaurants. We have Nigerian businesses. You're not going to believe that we're trying to slander Nigerians by talking about this very topic over here tonight.
Because
I don't believe you. This is what you believe.
No, because the reason why I say that is because he's done this with other topics too. He looks for negative traits in the community, and he kind of amplifies the stereotype of a group of people. And that you have to understand, when you are doing that, you are not tackling the issue, you are just besmirching including the innocent ones too. And which there are a lot of them. We know that. Like you are saying right now. And that is what I find with most of his topics. It comes with one reasonable thing that he needs to talk about, then he makes it about the whole group. You can say hush puppy. You can mention the name of this guy that is doing this stuff in Nigeria, and why is this stuff this thing present in Nigeria there. But don't make it like the way everybody does. They say Nigerian email, Nigerian this, like it's only Nigerians that do scams. You see, what the algorithm will catch is Nigerian scammers. 2021 December.
But
this is what it's in the zeitgeist.
Right, but was the guy a scammer?
That was 2020. He was a scammer and he was an idiot.
Right.
He was a scammer, he was an idiot, he deserved to be caught. But that is not the person he's talking about. He put Nigerian, that's my point. He could have just said hush puppy.
But where's hush puppy from?
What has the nation got to do with it?
Where
I am from Nigeria.
Yes. Where is hush? Okay, wait.
With hush puppy.
Okay.
Hush puppy too.
Where is hush puppy from?
Do I have hush puppy's money? Did he share anything with me?
This is not about you, okay? There's hush puppy. There's big daddy Ken. There's little daddy Ken, Okojuku. There's all of them. They're all from Nigeria.
I include the title that encompasses me too. Why use a title that encompasses me? He's not paying me. Me and him don't have any arrangement.
Are you a scammer?
No. So why
are you a scammer?
Why you use it?
What I'm saying, are you a scammer?
No.
So why
worry?
Yeah.
I'm a Nigerian because I'm a Nigerian.
There is Nigerians in the chat who are not triggered.
There are a lot of people that don't understand.
The conservative one, he's of Nigerian descent. He sees no problem with it.
Right.
There are a lot of people that don't understand how people get destroyed. They give you a bad name.
What's the guy
before they go after them?
Tunaja.
No, go ahead.
Tunaja. So all Afrodamus is saying is that you have people. I mean, you have people in Nigeria that are scammers, and yes, they do, and they do need to be profiled as that. You're talking as if he's speaking about all people. He's not speaking about all people. Just speaking about the specific ones.
Are you seeing what somebody wrote in the chat? It says, "I
What
am guilty by association." So are you going to be guilty by association? That title makes you guilty by association.
I'm not a I'm not. I mean, I'm not a scammer. If you're gonna go by
it doesn't
what
matter.
other people saying, then you're weak. But
no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with being weak because
It
these
does.
things kill people.
So
It
Tunaja,
actually kills.
if I had said Tunaja, if I had said, oh, all Nigerians can sing, they are all hardworking, you wouldn't have a problem with it, would you?
Why would I have a problem with that?
But I will be lying. I will be lying. But you wouldn't have a problem with a lie. See, when you came in here, if you were coming to debunk
you're saying all
and
Nigerians
say,
can, no. If you say all Nigerians can sing, of course, I'm going to have an issue this thing with that. I'm not going to come and fight you for that because it's supposed to be a positive thing, isn't it? But if it's a negative thing that could take somebody's life, positive things doesn't take your life. Negative things will take your life and you can't fix it. Once you are gone, you are gone. Sometimes Palestine, something will happen in Israel. Jews or in other parts of the world will be attacked and killed. These things matter.
Tunaya,
you are guilty by
Tunaya,
association.
I just told you, Tunaya, even the Eskimos know about the emails. So it's not a secret. That's my whole point. It's not a secret. So when you are sitting here,
blowing the trumpet. If it is getting quieter, you come out, blow the trumpet because it's not a secret. Oh, you go and blow the trumpet again because it's not a secret. You know what campaigning is? That's what you are doing.
Oh, who am I campaigning for?
You tell me. You are the one that is calling Nigerians what you are calling. See, you may not. Maybe most people don't understand this.
What was my last? My last topic. Last topic, was it about Nigeria?
I don't remember. You know, I don't track all the negative stuff you throw out there.
So Tunaya, in your opinion, I should just let white people talk about this, and I should talk about Wakanda. Is that what I'm hearing?
If you talk about Uganda, I will be willing to listen and be very this.
You're still here. You're still listening to my honest truth.
Issue with positive statements. See, you have to understand in this world, if I go to a South African airport today or a Kenyan airport, they will judge me because of association. That guy that said it in the chat is correct. You are guilty by association because of the way people portray the information.
Aren't we all tonight? Aren't we all West African, right?
Yeah, that's what
aren't we all?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I don't have any problem with talking about it. I just said
so Tunaja, I should have said West Africans are the ones doing it.
No. Why can't you just talk about the person doing it?
I did.
It's an individual. Put it on the title.
He's not the only one.
See, if you want to talk about Trump, you don't go and talk about America.
Well, he's not the only one. So therefore, I have to,
You see what I mean? When you talk about hush puppy as a top topic, then when you're talking about it, then you can go into the topics about like, okay, why do you think hush puppy came up from? Where did he come from? Why are people from there doing these sort of things? At least that is trying to find out more information, and which, to be fair to you, you did some of that. I agree. But I'm just saying, the way you come up, maybe it's just marketing, I don't know. But sometimes marketing, for what you get back from marketing,
Tunaya,
you are doing more damage.
Tunaya, am I telling the truth? Marketing the truth? Am I telling the truth? Am I telling the truth or not? That's the whole point.
The truth of this marketing is that Nigerians are scammers. Is it true?
Yes.
You see?
Majority.
You just said it. Nigerians.
No, but most.
He actually even used the word most. You see? He actually said most too. Can you imagine that?
Over 50% of the scammers, the scammings. No, seriously, in the World Wide Web, can be traced, over 50% can be traced to Nigerians.
Well, you see, he just said most Nigerians are scammers. Do you agree with him, conservative?
I did my investigation. You know,
most Nigerians are scammers. I'm asking the conservative Nigerian there.
He didn't. He's heard it before, I'm sure.
Are you going to sit there and agree that most
are
Nigerians
you saying that the percentage of scammer being caught where 50 come from Nigeria? That's what I heard.
No,
I don't know.
He's saying that most Nigerians are scammers. 50% of them.
No, that's not what I heard.
Okay, what did he? What
the one being caught, like 50% of the scammer being caught are coming from Nigeria. That's what I got.
Look, Niger knows this. He's trying to play. You know, he's trying to play dumb to it. He knows what I'm talking about.
See, St. James is cleaning it up for you, and I'm giving you opportunity to clean it up yourself because you said most Nigerians are scammers. That's the question I asked you. You said yes.
I am Niger. See, do you have an argument point against what I'm presenting here? That's all. Because you are all over the place.
You are tainting Nigerians. How clear can I be? You are tainting the whole country with the few that are doing these things.
The whole country or hush puppy?
No, the whole country. That's the thing. That's my problem. If it was hush puppy, I would be fine with it.
So I came here and said the whole country of Nigeria.
Hush puppy in the title. I don't even know whether there's hush puppy in the title. Is there hush puppy in the title? No, it's not there. It's like you're about to talk about Trump.
Look at the example here, right?
About Biden. There's no Biden in the title.
Look at what Royal Class said. He said, a Nigerian asked me, could they use my computer? I cussed him out. And okay, do you think? Wait, do you think? So do you think Royal Class read? Wait, do you think Royal Class read my title? You know,
yes.
That's why she. So Royal Class read my title, and then that's how the person knew.
This is what they call carpet trolling. You go on calling people a certain name over and over again. Over years, it becomes part of the zeitgeist. That is what is going on.
So nobody knew about the email scams until the Afridamus report came and reported it.
See, people know about it, but the way you don't understand how life works. Even something that is very negative in the West here, they don't carry it as negative like that. They will just say, "Oh, we are doing this. This is." You know what they call scamming in Nigeria? When a Nigerian asks the Europeans that are greedy, trying to help Nigerians steal Nigerians' money, he says those people are just greedy. They are not criminals.
All right. So teenager.
A European knows enough to belittle their own people's involvement in a criminal activity, saying that they are just greedy, they are not criminals. But the Nigerians that want to pretend to steal African money to send abroad, they are the criminals, not the European that is assisting them to do it.
So
why do you think the European knows how to sanitize their own side, calling them greedy?
Okay.
Instead of scammers.
Okay, can you allow conservative to say something quick? Go ahead, conservative one.
I appreciate it. So, teenager, are you a Christian? Teenager.
Oh, you're asking me? I was born a Christian. But I don't necessarily practice.
Yeah, he's a heathen. That's why.
Okay. All right. Then that would make sense as far as why you would.
You see, Teenager believes that, right? Believes that just because in Teenager's mind, just because there's some white person who scammed, but we have no proof of this. He cannot provide the name.
Oh my God!
Right. So therefore, the white person, scamming. I'm not interested in that, right? But I'm talking about. Wait. Let me finish. Tunaja, can you not interrupt the host, please? Okay. So in Tunaja's head, Afridamus, why would you be a good person to come here and enlighten people on this thing they have less information on. When you could talk about, some white person that Africans don't care for or have anything to do with Africans. You see, so for him, why if a Nigerian is selling drugs, if I talk about it, you should talk about Jimmy the white boy for selling drugs.
Amazing.
Yes. So that's his way of thinking.
You see, look at Kwesi. Kwesi is saying that I'm slow, but what he doesn't understand is that slow that you're calling me is the reason why Nigerians will go to airports and they will take us aside and search us even more. Because people have decided that Nigerians are criminals.
But Tunaja, are there Nigerian scammers?
They should keep frustrating us, but most of them are not.
But are there enough? What I'm saying, are there enough for people to look at the other ones sideways?
No, not enough.
How many more do we need? How many more do we need?
See, the scammers that are doing most damage in the world, there is no Nigerians.
Who are they?
They are in Europe,
Tunaja.
probably in America too.
Bro, Tunaja, man, there's a lot of bad Nigers in Africa, bro. Let's be honest, man. I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, man, but we have a lot of bad Niger in Africa. So I speak from experience, I'm being honest with you. Let's not lie to each other, man. And when they come to countries, they'll bring some stuff.
Let's look at the ledger here. We are stopping 200 million people's movement over. Let's look at the ledger.
No, Tunaja, you're not even. Who's stopping anyone's movement?
See, the total African continent, their resource that they have was what out of 600 billion, 3%. The whole African continent was what 3% of 600 billion that the WTO created, the IMF created to help countries.
Look,
so, see. Let me finish the point. If we were what 3%, let me finish. If we were what 3%, how is it that our so-called scammers are so great that it merits us being put aside every time? The ones that have all the money, they are not setting them aside at airports. It's us.
Tunaja.
Literally, we are the only ones being restricted most of the time. And our people are helping them. People like you are helping them do it more.
So the people I've talked about here, are they scammers or not?
They are scammers.
Okay.
How much do they scam? That's the question I ask you.
Okay, so then why do you have a problem with me talking about scammers?
I keep saying
I did not hold on. I'm not misleading people. I'm giving a history. Hush Puppy is from Nigeria. They showed his history and everything. He's proud of it. Okay? People are not stupid to think that it's going to be every Nigerian. People have common sense. But there is enough for it to be able to be a topic. And what St. James said is true. Like, many Africans, even in West Africa, when they have Nigerian stories for you. So let's not,
because Nigerians are aggressive, they go out and they get what they want, and people don't like it. It's not necessarily because all of them are carrying out scams. Yes, some of them are involved in criminal activity. That is true because they have the numbers. But I still keep saying it.
Whose device is making noise?
I don't think 200 million people deserve that kind of name.
Is my device?
No, I think it's Nigeria.
I think it's from St. James. Come on. Why would it not be me? It's not me. Okay, let me mute now. Let me see what I see.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, you're fine for now, too, Niger.
Okay, so
it's too Niger. You see, it's too Niger. Is the FBI hooking themselves to you there, too, Niger?
I'm hearing some like piping sounds.
Is the FBI? They did this to Hush Puppy too.
Leave him alone.
It's weird. I don't understand why it's happening.
Two Nature, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
How often do you call up on the show?
Once in a while, maybe every 2 weeks or so.
Oh.
No, not every 2 weeks.
No.
What? Is it not 2 weeks?
No, he calls.
When was I here last?
He calls whenever he sees like Nostradamus is speaking some good truths today. So he calls quite a bit. Okay.
Quite often.
Yeah.
The last time I was here was at least 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Do you like Aphrodamis's show?
No, not. He's okay. He's an okay guy.
It's okay.
It's okay, but
Wow, tonight I thought we were friends.
He lacks precision. Of course, you see. Okay, I think maybe if we are on the street or we are talking online, we are fine. But when somebody has a channel and sending a message out there, I have to question it. That are you looking at what you are doing? Because the common sense in the community of this issue is not very good right now. We seem to be accepting this type of stuff. We shouldn't have to be accepting it because they use it to do us damage.
But to whom though?
The damage.
Right, but to whom?
To all of us. See, it dawned on me recently that if you look at immigration controls, the only people they really truly control are Africans. They control us like all the time. And then you put another layer on top of it. Look at the coronavirus thing that just happened recently. Before you know it, they just banned this in South African countries. Before you know it, they banned this in Nigeria. This is the kind of stuff that keeps happening. They keep limiting us all the time, as if life is not bad enough for us. Wow.
Elijah, I have a question. I have a question for you, right? Nigeria, right? If the U.S. banned banned Nigerians to come to the U.S., why don't you do the same thing?
Because we are not.
Why should you talk about it? Just go ahead and do it. They're showing you that they can't, right? They can't. Why can't you? Why South Africa can't?
Yeah, they can't because they have more to lose. They want
their okay, so make sure next time you don't stand to lose, so you can stand on your own feet instead of letting somebody dictate the space for you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I agree with you on that 100%. I think even the South African president is saying the same thing. You know, see, funny enough, the South African president use terms like we are living on scraps. They gave themselves 17 billion in trillion in loans, and he's talking about silencing the guns on the continent. It's not only South African leader. African leaders are beginning to understand that I don't know why they understand it now because it's real. It's been forever, or maybe they were just scared before. Now they seem to be bolder about talking about it. They talked about how they wouldn't allow Africans to make vaccines. It's not because we cannot.
So to Niger again, they would not allow. They would not allow. A grown man shouldn't be saying this. They will not allow. Who's doing the allowing? Who's doing that? Go ahead and create your own, right? If you can't, just go ahead and do it.
See, do you know why they do that? Because currently African leaders, they know themselves. They are not popular among the people. If they do anything right now and the West put sanctions on them, money will not be in the economy and people will go crazy with them. They know that themselves. This is why they are weak. They are basically weak leaders because they know if they try to do anything that requires sacrifice, the people will sacrifice them first.
Okay, here. My thing is, St. James, to Niger is definitely, as you know, he always comes, he deviates from the truth. He doesn't like white people, but he lives in white people's country.
Okay,
you know, he complains about what white people are doing. Like, I thought he was gonna come here and thank me for doing such a great job of, bringing such an enlightening topic,
enlightening topic that's going to make me they will pull me aside at airports. I will come and thank you for that. Seriously.
That's why tonight I told you we're not ready to unite because we're not strong enough. Every time we keep telling you we're not strong enough. When you see leaders like South African leader, remember when he was talking, right? He said he had to pick up a phone call from people calling from Europe. telling him they're gonna put travel restriction on his country. You see what I'm saying? So this is shameful. It's very shameful. It's like
that he spoke to Nigerian president, Senegalese president, Ghanaian president, and all of them say come over. They are all in lockstep. They all combine. Even this in the WHO combined to call it an apartheid ban. So they are all in
Because
lockstep.
well, the reason why they are banning it is because the Wakanda variant they said was found in Africa. You know, that's another different topic. But I don't want to get you started. My whole thing is, to Niger, you haven't stated your case well, because what you're complaining about, you're doing the same thing from the other day. You have issues with my title. You have issues with the title, and also wait a minute. Also, you want to judge my topics according to your own liking, to say whether it's negative or positive. Again, there are channels that you guys have for that, where you guys go and talk about, all these um, delusional things. Over here, we got to speak about facts. I understand it's not for everyone, but the truth shall set us free. And I'm not talking about anything that people don't already know. I'm just putting reinforcement on it. That's all.
There's no need to stereotype people when you're trying to talk
Okay,
about
I would try not to do that. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, the next topic will be much better. Tunaja, why are you laughing? What, you don't believe me?
No, next topic should be Niger Power. Niger Power.
He will never do anything like that. He will never.
So wait a minute. So Tunaja, you believe that, I come here, to go against Africa? Is that your perception? Go ahead, Tunaja. Where's Tunaja?
Oh, he must have went off.
The FBI took him out.
No, I'm still here. See, I don't know whether it's deliberate, but that's what I see that you are doing and doing some of things. But you have to understand the impact of what you are doing. If I make a title and say Gambian pedophiles,
I would come and watch. I would come and watch what you're talking about.
Do you know what is going to be in the ether? Gambian pedophiles.
Well,
Anyway, they see a Gambian passport now, they watch what children are around.
Well, they can do that. If they have plenty of pedophiles coming from there, sure, I have no problem with that.
See, it's not about reality. It's about what is in the zeitgeist. It's not real.
Okay.
Most Nigerians you meet are not scammers.
Yeah, Hush Puppy was not a scammer. He was just borrowing the money. We get it.
Borrow the money.
Yeah, he just wanted to borrow it for a little bit.
200 million.
Yeah. Yeah. But what about the poor guy who's not at Hush Puppy level yet? What about him?
Exactly. I hear what he said, and I know that there are sections in the Nigerian community that does this type of stuff. But you have to understand, in Nigeria, the environment is very hostile for them.
Tunaja, something is wrong with your thing.
I really don't know what's going on with this thing. It's really weird.
Man, Alpha Damas, be careful, man. Tunaja's gonna sell us out, man. He's recording things, man.
Stop it. I don't know. I've never had this before. It's weird, actually. I don't know where it's coming from. It could be that I had some. Let me see. I don't know why he's doing that. It's weird. So I get what you mean by the those young people doing those in those sections that do those sort of things.
Tunaja. So pretty much you are saying, Afrodamus, you're telling the truth. I just don't like this kind of truth. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh no. I said you are telling the truth, but you are putting it on everybody.
Did I say every Nigerian?
Your title didn't discriminate.
Well, that's why people get to watch the show.
But who cares? Most people won't watch all of it.
Oh, no,
Most
no,
people don't
they,
watch more than 4 minutes of videos, and they are going to go and say, "Oh, Nigerian." That's why I said Gambian pedophiles. Nobody cares to know whether it's the white people that come into the country, or they just care about you put Gambian pedophiles, and the algorithm will catch it. And tomorrow, somebody will see a Gambian at the airport. They will be watching it. Are there children around? Let's make sure children are not around him because probably
well,
he's a Gambian pedophile.
nobody, I don't know any sensible person that just sees the title of a video and not watch it. Anybody, people that clicked on this video, when they see Nigerian emails, I'm pretty sure they know the story.
Go and
Prior
study
to
subliminal messaging, then you understand what I'm talking about. This is not a joke business.
So,
Subliminal messaging
so
works.
Tunaja understands subliminals, huh?
Of
yeah, he
course.
does.
Oh,
How can I
okay, I
understand?
got you. I
Yeah,
got you. I understand where you're coming from now.
yeah. Teenager like to say our people as if now I'm part of the crime syndicate. He'll be happy if I if
Wow.
I if I if I make it sound if I make it sound like this is just, Africans and calling these people, these criminals, saying our people, when in reality that's not the fact. Just like St. James put it, um, these, yeah, Hush Puppy and others, they hit big banks, big companies, but there is other Nigerians who are scamming from Africans and other people. This is not just white people saying this. This is not me coming up saying this over here. You
I'm
know
not
this.
saying Nigerians are not scamming. You are
Then
misquoting me.
what's
I'm
your
saying
beef?
that you are putting it on all Nigerians.
Okay, should I talk about North Korea next?
Put if you want to talk about Nigerian scammer, put the name of the scammer you're talking about.
Oh, then I wouldn't
And
have enough.
and when you
I wouldn't have enough space for the title. It
uh,
would be too.
then you are trying to make it so that it looks like the whole country is coming. But I could go and say, okay, Gambians are pedophiles or
Uh,
Americans are all
people,
killers.
well, people would watch your video and see
They watch
if
a video
what you.
and get the wrong impression about the whole people.
Uh,
Is that what
well,
you want them to live there with?
well, unfortunately, to Niger, you haven't stated your case. But gentlemen, I'm gonna give you guys the last word here before we close out, because I was gonna close out, but Two Niger came in. Two Niger, what would be your closing statement?
My closing statement would be, the topic itself, that's the discussion regarding within the topic itself is not the issue. You can talk about scammers and how negative it is for societies and stuff. But when you make it about the people, you're not talking about scammers anymore. You are saying the people are scammers. And then you didn't even go and contextualize it in terms of what level of scamming, where do they belong. You were able to contextualize it to say that they are working for North Korea, but
Look
you
at
didn't put
how
it in the
look at how
context of
happy
what
look at how
damage these people
happy
are actually doing
look at how
compared to
happy
others. So
look at
it's a
how
very
happy.
that this guy, my God, I can't even start talking about him. The stupidity and the level of stupidity involved is just unbelievable. But what can you say? That tells you that he's not a big guy. If you are looking at people that are big guys, they don't do what he's doing.
Yes, they are.
They don't do what he's
Well,
doing. Big people don't show off like that. They
well,
have billions in their offshore accounts. You will not hear from them at all.
well. You know, at the Afridamus report, unfortunately, I don't do making up stuff. I deal with evidence. But thank you for coming to Niger. I shall
Thank you.
see you on the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, that was To Niger. You guys know him. He's gonna come and defend whatever I say. So thank you for coming to Niger. Um, I hope to see you in the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, that's bringing us to the end of today's show. I stayed up for a little bit to get To Niger going. So for those of you that were looking for To Niger, you got your To Niger fix. And that brought us to the end of today's show. Enjoy.